as well as register as a sex offender.
During
was arrested last year after chatting on hit the big prize yet, but one ticket sold in Bakersfield made someone almost a millionaire. 5 lucky numbers were scored at a local Albertsons on Wednesday. 2 winning tickets sold, one at the Albertsons on Old Highway 58 and Allen Road. One player scored the winning ticket that paid out $984,000 minus 24% federal tax. That's $747,000. Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour. When it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think? This is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get a post like this. Little bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be viewing. For those subscribing on YouTube, it's the Ralph Bailey Show. Clad in my traditional Friday Jackie Robinson jersey, we got a busy broadcast on this Friday. Chris Burdick producing on this 5th day of September. I'll tell you about Jeff Salter's wonderful night last night. The Police Activities League had a fundraiser and named their hometown hero Jeff Salters, joining the likes of Frank Gifford and David Carr and Honor Flight's own Lily Marsh. I'll tell you about a wonderful night hosted by Jim Scott. It was a really, really fun evening. Rick Bentley will be here at the bottom of the hour. It's a Friday. We'll talk about a Michael Jackson bio that has his daughter upset, despite the fact that his nephew plays Jackson, and Catherine, who is still alive, the mom, signed off on it. The Paris says it ain't accurate. We'll delve into that with Mr. Bentley. Our man Brandon Lang returns as football bizarrely got underway last night. Stopped for spitting and lightning. If you didn't see the game, I'll explain when we get into that. And more on Robert Kennedy. I just left one of the best matches I've ever seen, despite the fact that the old man just can't stave off the 22-year-old. It's not done, or maybe it is, but you were going to have to start the show because I wasn't going to leave until the second set had ended. Oh, I know what happened. It doesn't matter, even if he won the third set. So the kid, Alcaraz, destroys Djokovic in the first set. Djokovic comes back in the second set, has an opportunity to win and make this at least 4 sets, maybe 5, and somehow, some way, the kid battles back. Djokovic had him down 3-love in the second set and serving to go 4-love. And if he goes 4-love, there's no way even Alcaraz is going to win 6 games before Djokovic wins 2. That just wasn't going to happen. 4-love would have won the set. Instead, at 3-love, Alcaraz breaks him, Save serve at 3-2, breaks him again at 3-3, goes on to win the second set. And I don't care what Chris has got it on the board. Ain't no way in hell a 38-year-old joker is going to beat 22-year-old Carlos Alcaraz 3 straight sets. So what, he beat him in third set to win it?
Straight sets.
Yeah, that's what I figured. There's just no way he was going to beat him 3 straight sets in a row. As we talked about, I think it's done for the old man. I really do. Because he's the 3rd best player in the world. And not only is the issue that he can't beat Sinner and Alcaraz, in every major, he's going to have to beat them both. Do you understand why? Do you understand why?
He's going to have to beat them both because of his rankings, really.
Because they're never, I don't care if it's the Chris Burdick tournament, you would never put Sinner and Alcaraz in the same bracket.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Then they meet in the semifinals instead of the finals. They're always going to be in separate brackets.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
So meaning whatever bracket Djokovic is in, he got to be in both.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to happen. Maybe at 38 going on 39, he beats one of them. But as we predicted, that proved wrong today. And so I wouldn't be surprised. What's left? Is that the last final of the year? Yeah, it is. Because we've had the French. Coco won the French. Iga won the Wimbledon. Sabalenka won the Australian. And yeah, the US Open. So we start again in, where are we? August? We start again in like the fall, right? That's it for the majors for this year.
Yes, I am seeing that we start again in January with the Australian Open.
Yeah, so that's it for the majors. I could see him playing Australia, Djokovic playing Australia and playing Wimbledon, and then if he gets bounced in Wimbledon, just saying goodbye and calling it a day there.
It might be time.
I think it is because there's just no way he can beat them both. There's just no way, and it's going to be an Alcaraz Sinner. So we're gonna have another bet.
No.
I thought you would jump at that. I'm glad you said no because I'm not sure Alcaraz can beat Sinner. They're that close. I don't know. I think that's a coin flip. I'm actually relieved. I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, I'll take your money again. Well, actually, I paid you for the first one, and I pay my bets. What was the bet? I have to take you to lunch or something.
Yeah, it was a burger.
All right. Well, tell me when. And there's other miscellaneous news and notes. Amanda Anisimova beat, did we talk about this already?
No.
She beat Naomi Osaka, and Jessica Gula, the other American, got defeated by Aryna Sabalenka. So it'll be Sabalenka and Anisimova tomorrow in the finals. And I think I can safely say, even though Sinner hasn't played, it'll be Alcaraz and Sinner in the final. He's playing Felix the Cat, Felix Unger.
Felix Jones, the former running back.
Ooh, nice. Felix. That's about all the Felixes I got. What's this kid's name?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Give me a second.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter. Sinner's going to kill him. I would be shocked if it goes beyond straight sets, but we'll watch out for that. And
oh Lord,
what?
He's a Canadian, but I think it's Auger Alami.
I don't know. Who cares?
French, yeah.
Who cares? He's going to get beaten 3 sets. He absolutely is going to beat 3 sets. And I've got a bag on your boy. You're not going to like it. I got a bag on Donald Trump. He has changed the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Now, this really, truly, at the end of the day, at the bottom line, is a non-story because what does it do? What, Xi and Putin are suddenly shaking in their pants now? Ooh, America's the Department of War. Oh my God, we better change our foreign policy. It's a stupid story. So I know what you're saying. Well, Ralph, why is it on your rundown? A very, very busy rundown, by the way. Why is it on your rundown? Because you should hear the Republicans falling all over themselves defending this. You should, in fact, you got Hegseth. Listen to, this is I'm not kidding. This is the Secretary of War talking about the name change.
Words matter. Titles matter. Cultures matter. George Washington founded the War Department. We'll see. Stand by.
George Washington formed the War Department. Stand by. Chip Roy, a Republican congressman I once respected, quote, "If it's good enough for George Washington, it's good enough for me." Is it me? Is it just me? Am I the only one that just absolutely thinks these people are stupid? It's the 21st century. And if it was good enough for 1789, it's good enough for 2025? Really? If it's good enough for our first president in the 18th century, it's good enough for the 21st century. I guess I have to do this. And I enjoy doing it. I enjoy giving history lessons. But I guess I have to give you a history lesson. The name Department of War was changed after 1947. Now, really, I should be able to end my history lesson right there. Anybody with any common sense and logic should figure out why Harry Truman in 1947 changed the name from the Department of War to the Department of Defense. But in case you were smoking weed in 10th grade during history, here is your history lesson of the day. World War II ended in 1945. World War I was called the war to end all wars, but we found out that wasn't right. But if there's another global conflict, well, we're all dead. So let's hope and pray that 45 was the war to end all wars. And America wanted to send a signal that we weren't the bully, that we were going to be the country that our parents raised us to be. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how y'all were raised, but Ralph and Harriet, particularly Ralph, told me, don't you ever let somebody put their hands on you. And don't you ever start a fight. But if somebody puts their hands on you, you end it. End it. Don't try to wrestle. Don't try to hold them. End it. End it. And that was our stance as a country. That was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Carry a big stick. Walk softly, but carry a big stick. We were trying to send a message that we're not warmongers. We're not seeking a fight. But if you screw with us, and I clean that up, we will end it. And now Hegseth and Trump think they're big bad guys because now we're the Department of War and we're badasses. Okay. All right. Fine. And finally, before I talk about Jeff Salters tonight, I'm in trouble.
Oh, what'd you do now?
I'm in trouble.
I'm kind of wondering what you've been flinging around your hand there, so I assume that's
Superior Court of California, County of Kern. Our records indicate you failed to report for jury duty, a violation of California Code of Civil Procedure, Section 209. Please contact our office to reschedule or follow the instructions on the back of this card and submit an excuse to prevent a possible fine of up to 1,500 bones.
I thought you extended your... You know. Ooh, you're in trouble.
I'm 67. I forgot.
You're in trouble.
No, I'm not. All I gotta do is reschedule.
No, I know. But still, you're gonna need an excuse though. So you're probably gonna have to go to HR or somebody and get like a letter filled out.
No, I'm not. They don't go to that. No, I'll just reschedule. It says, please contact our office to reschedule or follow the instructions on the back of this card and submit an excuse to prevent a possible fine. I'm not going to lie to these people. I'm going to tell them the truth. I'm going to call and say, mea culpa, I knew it. I talked about it on my radio show, how I was going, how I loved it. And I did. The one time I got called and I went, I loved it. It was a DUI case, ironically. And that was the hardest part of the jury experience. During jury selection, they ask you, have you ever been arrested? And I was like, damn. Mr. Bailey, Well, and in full court, you have to explain. It was 2006, and my friend Ed Skelly came to town. It was about 10:30 at night. I was sitting on my couch, and I got up and I went downtown on a Wednesday night. I don't know why. And I tried to come home at about 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, that was the only time. But I loved it. I was the foreman of my jury. I absolutely loved it. So I'm not going to lie. I'm telling the truth. I'm an old man with cobwebs in my brain, and I smoke a lot of weed, and I forgot. That's the biggest truth I've ever told in my life. Quick time out. We're just getting started. I'll tell you about Jeff Salter's wonderful night at Luigi's, and our good friend Rick Bentley and the man from the East joins us at the bottom of the hour. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Friday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. It's the JR Show.
Have you guys been down California Avenue lately between Real Road and Stockdale? My goodness, the construction is an absolute mess. You can't get in and out of businesses during certain times. It rotates. Nobody is notifying anybody about when roads are going to be open. The city has dropped the ball on this. Seriously, it took me 15 minutes just to get home from work. I live right across the street. I could have walked home faster. And the worst part is, it's going to last till the end of October.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
King Door Company continues to set the standard in the garage door industry, and I'm here to tell you a few of the reasons why. First off, King Door carries Clopay garage panels and LiftMaster openers, so you're guaranteed quality and reliability well beyond the reach of most garage door companies, and it just gets better from there. King Door has a fleet of fully stocked service trucks with all the parts and tools to handle any job quickly and efficiently, and those trucks are manned by the most knowledgeable technicians anywhere. They have all the technical expertise imaginable and the most up-to-the-minute training available. In fact, King Door is so committed to training that they have the King Door Academy, a full-size, state-of-the-art classroom right on the premises with all the latest teaching aids, including working garage doors to simulate any installation, repair, or technique. Your garage door is a very important part of the safety, security, and look of your home, so don't trust it to anyone but King Door Company. Call them today at 397-2744, stop by the showroom at 7450 District Boulevard, or check them out online at kingdoor.com. King Door Company, your company with the pride of a lion.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
Need cash fast? Tap into the value of your home with a home equity line of credit from Valley Strong Credit Union. Whether it's for home improvements, debt consolidation, or that dream vacation, you can get your cash offer in minutes. That's right, just minutes to unlock the power of your home's equity with no hard credit pull to see how much cash you can get. No stress, no waiting, just smart local banking that puts you first. Grow your possibilities with Valley Strong Credit Union. Visit valleystrong.com to get started today.
Please meet Paul Sheldon's client, Vivian Rushing.
Hi, my name is Vivian Rushing. I am a client of Paul Sheldon. They helped me get everything in order. I had no clue what I was doing, and they were wonderful. The staff is amazing. Lynn and Kelly go out of their way to make you feel comfortable when you walk through the doors and make sure you have everything that you need. Paul is very accommodating. He uses himself as an example to help you understand the process of the insurance and what benefits you should be looking at and what you shouldn't be looking at and how to go about getting it together. I have recommended Paul Sheldon. Just a couple of days ago, I was in line to get my medication, and this gentleman was talking about retiring and didn't know what to do. I told him, contact Paul Sheldon. He's the best. I just want to say thank you, Paul Sheldon. You're wonderful and your staff is amazing.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
A text message. I need your attention. A text message from Chris Orr. Does JR have the show on in there? I doubt it.
He might. He usually listens.
Mr. Ralph Bailey's from Chris Orr.
Okay.
Brunch Fest winner and overall good egg.
Yes.
And lacrosse guru. Mr. Ralph Bailey. What the hell's that about? What the hell's that about, Chris? Mr. Ralph Bailey?
You gotta be being formal.
The hell that's about? I thought it was for my dad. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's
Mr.
true.
Ralph Bailey.
Got their junior at the end.
Yeah, I don't have JR's number. If you can catch him before he leaves, and this is also for your information as well. And Chris, my friend's band is playing at Village Fest tomorrow. Oh, that's why Kristen asked me about Village Fest. I didn't know it was tomorrow.
Yeah.
God, I used to go every year. I used to look forward to it every year. We used to get a limo and go. It was like a huge thing when I was young. Now, the last time I went is when I was dating a 31-year-old, and she ran me around the fairgrounds all night long, and we ended up at a rival station's deal dancing for like 30 minutes. I was probably like 54. She's 31. And I got a room at the Padre, and we were supposed to meet some friends downtown. And I'm in the Uber going back to the Padre and I'm like, there is no way in hell I can make it. I'm done. I am done. So we get back to the hotel. We were just going to kind of freshen up and meet them at like Alley Cat or Crash. And I come out of the bathroom and she's sprawled out, passed out on the bed. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Because I was in the bathroom washing my face, figuring, how do I tell her? I twisted my ankle. That's what I'll tell her. I twisted my ankle. I tore a ligament. And I walk in and she's spread eagle, just passed out. And I was like, there is a God in the heavens. All right, sorry. I digress. So stupid. Please stand by. All right, Mr. Bailey, I don't have JR's number. If you can catch him before he leaves, and this is also for your information as well, and Chris, my friend's band is playing at Village Fest tomorrow. They go on at 6 o'clock. They're called CC Amor. If you guys are in and around at the time, please come by and check them out. And they are really good. Thank you. Have a great show, Ralph. Are you going tomorrow?
I am going tomorrow, and I'll try to remember the name.
You're not going to be there by 6 o'clock. You get there that early?
Oh, no. I mean, I get there about when the sun starts to go down, starts to get cooler.
Well, that ain't 6 o'clock. That's what I'm saying. Most people go. That's where we used to go.
6:30.
Just as the sun is setting, just to get a little cooler.
Yeah.
Because all those people make it so much hotter. And
plus, you don't want to go too early and get sloshed too early, and then you're just dumb.
Exactly. God dang it! I don't have time to talk about Jeff's event. I'll talk about it at 4 o'clock or 4:30 after we have Brandon Lang, or maybe we won't. No, during the Brandon Lang segment, we won't take him that long. But just to say, I love Jeff Salters. I really do. I've got to know him through Honor Flight. I knew him before that, as I said in my speech. He had me come up and say a few words about him. But I never really knew. I mean, I knew, but when you hear a man talk about it for about 5 or 10 minutes, I really didn't know how deeply he leans on his faith and how genuine it is. And I've heard the story of how Salty's began. He was broke. He was a sales guy for Cisco Foods. I know that because he worked my good friend Mike Arier. And he told the story how his oldest son, Justin, was working for Chevron, making a ton of money. And he borrowed money from his son. And he borrowed 40 grand. And the guy that he bought the property from wanted like 35. Jeff offered 25. The guy said, I have a guy offering 30 or 35. Jeff said, I can go as high as 27. And the guy said, well, let me think about it. And Jeff said, I just depended on my faith. And this is what moved me. It makes you have to think of God. He said the guy declined the higher bid, took Jeff's bid, the lower bid, and said, my wife and I prayed on it, and we believe God wants you to have this restaurant. If that doesn't make you believe in God, I don't know what will. And it was just a moving night. His 3 sons, Justin, Scott, and Robert, all spoke after me, and they were outstanding and funny. And he's just an unbelievable father, an unbelievable grandfather. And as I said in my speech, he's one of those people who I hate this city. It's laid out poorly. It's got horrible municipal government, valley fever. But people like Jeff Salters is the reason I've lived here for 33 years. Quick time out. Rick Bentley is next.
News Talk 96.1.
What's really going on?
1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump has signed an executive order to rebrand the Department of Defense as the Department of War. Criticized the previous name as woke and said the new name is more appropriate. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, now referred to as the Secretary of War, emphasized the shift to maximum lethality.
What?
A congressional investigation finds the Pentagon has funded research involving collaboration with Chinese entities linked to China's defense sector. Many of these entities are blacklisted by the U.S. government. The report by House Republicans on the Select Committee on China warns that U.S. technological know-how is being diverted to modernize China's military. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 220 points, the NASDAQ dropped 7. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Put butter in it. It probably work.
Newsroom.
No, it don't
Your
work.
live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM
Well, that was
1180 KERN.
My grandparents.
I'm Bill Robbins. Former Delano Police Chief Mark DeRocha has pleaded no contest to engaging in a graphic online conversation with an adult he thought was a minor. That he will do no jail time. He'll instead be required to perform 240 hours of community service, and he'll have to undergo counseling as well as register as a sex offender. DeRocha was arrested last year after chatting on the gay dating site Grindr with a sheriff's department decoy. The profile said the person was 18.
I don't put the butter and the salt
he was
on
15.
before I put
DeRocha
it over
stated
the
that
eggs.
he didn't
I'm gonna
believe
put a
that
little,
he was
little
15.
square butter right in the middle.
Powerball jackpot is up to
Only time I ever do
$1.7
salt,
billion.
I still do.
One lucky winner
Sorry,
on
Doc.
Wednesday scored a ticket
A little
worth
salt.
$984,000. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news
Okay,
every
go
half
on.
hour when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go
Well,
forward
if that
to
makes it
school
good,
into
then
your
it's good.
future
Eat
as
it.
an IT professional.
My
Whether you're
grandparents
starting
ate
out, switching
eggs,
careers,
bacon,
or a
and grits
veteran ready for
every
change,
day
My
their whole
Computer
life.
Career can help
Their whole
you
life.
get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial
I
aid
think
is
my
available
age
to those who
is-
qualify,
I'm-
including the VA
I'm a
benefits.
horrible
I'm Ed
boyfriend, but
Evans,
I'm not a
CEO of
cat.
Consumer Cellular. We're
I
dedicated to
was
serving
raised
people
right.
50 and up like me. Our
I
needs
won't
are
even
different.
sleep with a
Big
woman
Wireless
who
wants
really,
us in
really
an
wrong,
unlimited plan,
even if
but if
she's
you're
still
not
awake,
using all that
alone.
data, you're probably
Be
getting
narcolepsy.
used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs,
Exactly.
not ours.
Well,
Our
yeah,
plans
there's
start
a
at just
balance.
$20, and you'll get the best customer
There's a
service in
level
the
of
business.
drunkenness
Call
I
our
won't
AAA
pass.
Freedom or visit
But you're right, I do need
consumercellular.com/facts.
some.
Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional
Yes,
facts.
oh,
Start
you're
your
an
day right.
097. I'm
First
sorry.
look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition
Right.
of the First Look program, we already know I'm going to win the football picks.
Exactly.
We'll find out by how much. We got some
Alcohol
new job
is the
numbers
greatest
coming out that
aphrodisiac.
nobody
I'm
is
sorry.
prepared to believe,
I'm sorry.
and news, traffic, and weather. And we'll
Are
talk
you
jobs with
serious?
the nice folks from America's Job Center at Kern, 6 to 9 a.m.
You
Right here at
don't,
News Talk
so.
96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
First look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk
How'd you
96.1
avoid it?
and
Why
AM
did you-
1180 KERN. The Armstrong and Getty
knew it.
Show. Weekdays
I
noon to
said
2
that on the air.
on News Talk
Children of
96.1
alcoholics go
and
1
AM
of 2 ways,
1180
period. They
KERN.
either become a
Now,
drunk
back to the
or they
Ralph
never go.
Bailey Show.
I mean that. I should have said that before you said it. Right? It does feel good. It's a Friday. Yay. Headed into the weekend. And KGT entertainment reporter Rick Bentley. I spent the evening with your colleagues, Jim Scott, Jeff Salters.
Great man.
Great. Your boss, the general manager, was sitting next to me. I got DJ. Really
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
really good kid.
I really lucked out by
Yes.
getting to be part of that team.
Yes.
And I say that loosely. I mean, they are a team. I'm just sort of that peripheral. I'm like one of the planets of Jupiter.
No, that's not true.
Well,
You're
still.
a part of the team. Everybody, as my one coach said, everybody pulling on the rope is on the team.
Yeah. Well, let's just say I'm pulling on the tail end of the
No,
rope.
I would not.
The frayed end that's about to come apart.
No.
Yeah.
And for those of you that think there's something mysterious going on at 17 because there have been a bunch of departures all at the same time, I'm not going to discuss my conversations with Mr. Jeffries last night, general manager KGT, but you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Just trust me. Just stop gossiping and just trust me. You have absolutely no idea what's going on and what's been happening, what's led up to these people leaving. It's just so stupid.
Look, I've talked about this all my life covering television. This is a small market.
Yes, but it's a great small market.
If you can get started, if you can get in a market this size and build a reel, you can go to about any market you want.
Yes.
And when
It's a
people,
great jump
people
off
get into TV, they want to go to a bigger market, I did that with newspapers. I started with a small paper, went to bigger one, a bigger, big.
That's the whole point. I
Yeah,
did the
that's the
same
idea,
thing. I couldn't get a job at the LA Times, but I could get a job at the Inglewood News.
Right.
And then you get high, and then I got Coast Media newspapers. And then I came here and got an education. I got the biggest for California.
Yeah.
That's how it works. It's a procession. That's the job. You don't want to work at the Inglewood News when you're 63 years old.
No.
Google movie.
Yeah, I wanted to work at the Louisville Courier Journal. That was at
Great paper.
Tremendous paper.
Speak of the devil. Did you hear that the Atlanta Journal-Constitution is ending its run at the end of the year?
They will not have a paper version.
In Atlanta.
Well,
place of my birth, place of my original education.
Yeah, and talk about a great newspaper.
Yes.
But
if I had been half mature, I probably would have worked for him at some point had I finished my degree at Morehouse.
That's where we're headed. We're going to see everybody give
Go
up
digital.
Yeah, because why would I buy a newspaper that gets me the news 2 days later? It's mailed to me, and it maybe has some feature like stuff in it, but there's I'm not going to get the high school scores. I'm going to get that all from TV or online and that sort of thing. And so it's okay. Yeah, I like the idea because they can adjust and become an internet, which probably leads me to one of the things I want to talk about today. There's a new TV series on called The Paper.
I was going to bring that up, as a matter of fact. They were on the Today Show the other day.
But before we get too far down the road,
yes, Chris,
I do believe we have a visitor today. I have in my hand,
yes,
the mysterious letters,
yes,
that have been on the porch of Funkin' Wagnall since noon yesterday.
Yes,
and you, with your divine wisdom, will be able to answer every question before you read it.
Is that what I'm doing?
No, I'm going to hand. I'm going to hand you an envelope. You're going to read it.
All right, very good.
Okay. So let's get started. Are you ready?
I am ready, Ed McMahon.
Okay. Here's number one.
Letter number one. Hole in one.
I know you don't know that term because of your golfing game, but hole in one.
My assistant has funny jokes now.
Oh, that was good.
You pipe down in there. Why should you carry extra socks when you golf? Oh,
what? And I've accomplished.
That's the very first one we've ever done. That was good, Mr. Bentley. That was good.
Here is
There's a hole in my sock.
We're done. We're not going to do any more. Since that
I know we should just walk out. We should both just leave.
That's it. We're
Just
done.
walk out.
That's right.
Chris, you got the rest of the show. I'm going home.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you
Can't
later.
get any better than that, folks.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Letter number two.
That was better than Sis Boom Bob. I swear to God it was. The Los Angeles Chargers.
The Los Angeles Chargers.
That's what I said. What do you call people in Southern California with credit cards? The Los Angeles Chargers. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad.
Hey, each of these is worth what you paid me.
Hey, they all can't be home runs.
They can't
No, but
even,
that wasn't bad.
they
That wasn't
can't
bad.
even be a bunt single half the time. So, number 3.
Letter number 3. Fly paper.
Fly paper.
That's right. What do you use to wrap a zipper? Fly paper. Good, because I was going a whole different direction. I'm glad you didn't go where I was going.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's a family show.
Yes,
We've got to
thank
keep
you.
it family friendly.
I was hoping you remembered that.
Letter number 4.
Number 4. Hickory, dickory, dock.
Hickory, dickory, dock.
Who do you call when you have broken your hickory dickory? That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
You know what?
That genuinely made me laugh.
I'm batting.
Your hickory dickory dock.
I'm batting 400.
That's who you call. Yes, you are.
I could
You're
play,
on fire today.
I could play for the Dodgers.
You really could. You're better than Michael Conforto. I'll tell you that. Boy.
And here, in my hand, is the final letter.
Yeah. All right. George? No. Paul? No. Ring? No. John Lennon.
John Lennon.
That wasn't bad.
Thank you.
I can't do an English accent. What do you call the towels in your bathroom? John Lennon.
Thank you, oh great mystic, for your insights.
Rick Bentley, everybody. That was pretty doggone good, Jackson.
Yeah,
that was pretty.
Considering
John
I wrote them about an hour ago.
That was pretty
I
good.
forgot we were going to do it, and I thought, I need to come up with.
Well, then good. Do that more.
Yeah.
Those are pretty funny, actually. They really were.
Well, yeah, okay. Hey, we've got 3 movies I could talk about, or 2 new TV shows.
And then I've got something I want to bring up.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do first?
Nobody in the family's ever liked a bio.
Yeah, but that's what's so strange about it. We're talking about the Jackson bio, where Paris has a problem with it, the daughter, but the nephew's playing Michael, and mom is the executive producer.
Yeah.
So I guess within a family.
Don't you feel like children often have a different view of their parents than the real one?
Yeah.
And I if mom is signed off on it,
That's what I'm saying.
she was there. She saw it all happening. The daughter saw it through her eyes. That parental vision that all lots of kids have.
Was Paris the one he hung out the window, or was that the boy?
I think it was Blanket.
I think it was Paris.
No, I think it was Blanket. I'm not sure. Look and see if you can find that. But anyway,
Yeah.
he was a nut job. That's when he lost me.
Yeah.
When he hung that baby out the window, I was like, "Oh, this guy's lost it."
Oh, he lost it, I think, long before that.
Yeah.
But that was just sort of if
That
you were writing the sentence, that was the exclamation.
Yeah, that's when
point
I was
on
like,
it.
"Okay."
It was
all
his son, Prince
Yeah.
Michael
So-
II.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the problem we have with all these biopics. This fall we've got one on Bruce Springsteen.
Really?
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to turn out.
Wow.
Yeah, but we're going to see a lot of this because the one last year on Bob Dylan did so well with the Oscars.
Did it?
Yeah, it got nominations. I mean,
Yeah.
So, the one on Springsteen's got Jeremy Allen White, who's from the Bear, which is a very popular show. So
yeah.
it's got a lot going for it, but we'll see. I mean, everybody has. I mean, it's that whole thing about police will tell you if you have 5 eyewitnesses, you're going to get 5 different descriptions of what
Right.
it is.
Right.
And I think when you're close as a child, you do see the world. You see your parents in a different light. It's probably pink goggles that you're seeing it through.
I tell the story all the time. My dad ended his life here and worked here, and I run into nurses and physicians that worked with him, and they say, "Your father was a riot. He was the funniest guy. He always tried to make the operating room light and funny." And I always be like, "I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
That's not the cat that came home and I mean, my father was very serious at home, and he
Yeah,
just
but
wasn't the jokester that apparently he was at work."
Some of us put on personas when we go out,
Yeah.
and then you get home and you become yourself.
Yeah.
And sadly, sometimes that self is not a good self.
I think no, I don't. I wasn't bad. I didn't. I always felt love for my dad. I just think he felt he had to be like the general at the house. You know what I mean? We had light moments. We went to sporting events together. And
That
stuff.
generation.
Exactly.
I've
always talked about it. My father never told me he loved me.
No, my dad never did either.
Yeah, that generation, he never hugged me when we went to college. When he took me to college, and he helped me with my trunk and my thing.
Help to college.
Yeah, he sat in my room for about 5 minutes, shook my hand, said, "Make us proud. Call me if you need any money," and walked out of the room. And I was like,
I got none of that. So he
didn't even take you to college?
No, I made the decision when I'm leaving, and that was it.
You got on a plane and took off?
Well, I
drove in a car.
Yeah, 20 miles to the college. So it wasn't. I was a farm boy. We couldn't afford to go away to college.
I was going cross country.
Oh no, I was
kind of a big deal.
If I hadn't got a work scholarship, I would be today asking if you wanted fries with that. So,
all right. Now to what you want to talk about.
Well, since we teased the paper.
Yes.
You're talking about the future of newspapers. Peacock has a new series that just started called The Paper. Now, it was created by Greg Daniels. Does that name ring a bell?
Not really.
He's the guy who created The Office.
Oh, that's right. And I wasn't a fan.
Well,
not that I wasn't a fan. I just never watched it.
I wasn't. I watched the British version, which the American version was based on.
Yeah.
With Ricky Gervais.
Mm-hmm.
It was much, much better.
Yeah.
The problem I had with The Office was that whole mockumentary that was going on. They were filming people. And I felt like that got old, and then everybody started copying it. Well, The Paper, that they picked up the idea that film crew that was filming the people in The Office at the paper company is now starting a new documentary at this newspaper office.
And aren't there characters from The Office?
There's right now
in the paper.
All I've seen is one.
Kaczynski?
No.
He's not. I thought he was in it.
The episode I saw, he was not.
Okay.
One of the supporting players in it. So, but there is, there's plenty of potential to have crossover if they want to do that.
Right.
I mean, some of those people aren't working.
Yeah, I thought for sure in the package that I saw on the Today Show, because they had the two stars on as guests,
right?
And they ran a clip, and I thought for sure, almost certain, that Kaczynski was in it.
So was it Domhnall Gleeson? It was the star.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with The Office.
Was it? No, I was The Office. Well, I was talking about The Paper. You were seeing a story about The Office?
No, a story about they showed a clip from The Paper.
Right.
And I thought for sure I saw John Kaczynski. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
In the clip.
And I didn't see the clip. It could have been just simply from the makers of The Office.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, because even the first episodes opens with 20 years ago, a film crew went into, and so they show you some of the stuff from the past.
Okay.
And it's a convoluted way of getting to this. The company that owned the paper company was bought out by a company in Toledo, and they moved there. And so what's left of that paper company is in the same building, because the Toledo paper was in a full building. They had hundreds of employees, how newspapers used to be.
Yeah.
And now there's 5 people.
Yeah. Glorious time.
Which goes back to our point of we're heading down that path toward it will only be, and what we'll see is it's not, they'll do away with, any building, anything like that. They'll freelance every story. So they won't have to pay any kind of health benefits or Social Security or anything like that. There are people who work for the Californian right now who will freelance sports stories for $75.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to see
which is sad. That's how my career started.
Well, and it wasn't last week you started. I mean,
no,
it should. Yeah.
We're talking about in the 80s, and I'm working at a weekly newspaper, and I'm making $255 a week, and I'm making $45 a game doing high school football on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah. See, but at that time for you, that was probably a good supplement.
It really was.
Yeah. But now,
you can't
make a living on
No,
that.
No, you absolutely can't.
But there'll be a lot of people out there, a lot of college, people are still going into journalism. They'll come out, they'll need some kind of writing outlet.
Yeah.
And so they'll do these jobs for $25, $50.
And what you guys need to understand is we grew up in a period where there was at minimum 2 newspapers. If not, there were times where you could get 3 newspapers. You would get the LA Times, and we were just south enough in Ladera where we could get the Daily Breeze.
Okay.
And then when we moved to the South Bay, we would get the Daily Breeze and the LA Times. But you could get the LA Times and the Daily Breeze in the morning, and the Herald Examiner, which I worked for 6 months until they went out of business during a strike, Bailey Luck, in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And the Herald Examiner was a radically different newspaper than the New York Times.
Oh, yeah.
They got it. They did more minority stories than the LA Times. That's one of the reasons I
And that's why a lot of papers, multiple papers in a town survive.
Right.
There'd be an alternative paper.
Exactly.
And so depending on your political preference or whatever, you would pick a paper.
I mean, weekly papers survived.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The papers were everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I always
And everybody read them.
I always tell the story when I went to the Fresno Bee. There was over 938 employees.
Wow.
Okay. We had our Christmas party. We had to go to the convention center. It was that big. Now they have 20.
I remember when the first week I was working at the Californian. It's my first experience at a daily newspaper. And I remember that I would have to go outside and take a walk just so I could get my thoughts, because I had never worked in such a large newsroom with Lois Henry on the back screaming and yelling, and Bob Price over here asking how to spell this, and Rob Walters screaming over there, and Mike Trihey's over there, and everybody's screaming and yelling. And I literally couldn't concentrate. I'm used to working in a weekly newspaper where there are like 8 people in the room.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there are 25 people all screaming and yelling. I was like, I got to get out of here. And I would literally circle the building just so I could get my lead. And I was like, okay, I got it. And I could go back and bang it out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, it was a different time. And I'm happy I lived through it. You know,
I am too.
I would hate that I'd try to get into the business now.
Yeah. That's why I always say I would not want to be a kid.
But getting back to the paper.
Sorry.
I dislike that whole mockumentary thing. So I'm already 2 pegs down on this show.
Oh, it's too bad.
And it's not a great, maybe I'm too close. Maybe it's, it's like they're making fun of newspapers dying. I still got a little sore spot for something.
Me too.
Some of that.
Me too.
And I get it. It's inside baseball, and I'm probably going to react differently than the general. But I just think overall, the Gleason who stars in it, he's an Irish actor. I don't think he's not the Steve Carell type that you could just love to hate.
Yeah.
And then and I wish I'd written her name down, because there's a woman who's his assistant managing editor, she was in White Lotus. She's Italian. I can't stand a second of her.
Yeah, she was the other one that came on the Today Show, and I could barely understand what the hell she was saying.
And it's not that; it's just she's annoying.
She is.
It's like cats scratching a chalkboard.
Oh, it just dawned on me who she was. She was the hostess
at the
White Lotus.
Yeah.
Okay, I just
So anyway, I don't care for that show. But
that's too bad.
It's on Peacock.
Yeah.
So if you subscribe, take a look.
Well, good.
The other TV show I want to talk about is the new NCIS.
Yeah.
Tony and Ziva. You're not an NCIS fan? Well, your audience, I'll bet you anything knows everything about NCIS.
Clearly.
And Tony and Ziva were characters on NCIS years ago. The mothership NCIS, played by Michael Weatherly and Cote Pablo. And now, when they were on the show together, they had a kind of a, will they, won't they, that sort of moonlighting, sort of love interest type thing. Well, they had a child together. Now they're living in Paris. He's got a security company. So that connection to NCIS is kind of thin. So calling it NCIS Tony and Ziva doesn't make a lot, except you're branding it.
Yeah.
It's like saying McDonald's fish sandwich, rather than fish sandwich. So it's okay. I didn't dislike it when I watched it, but the first, there's a 10-episode first season. It's on Paramount Plus right now. It's if it's one of those rainy afternoons on a Saturday, like we haven't ever have those here, and you're looking for something, it's not the worst pick.
Yeah. Okay.
The paper would be worse.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad, because I don't have Peacock.
Oh yeah.
I'm happy about that. Anything else going on?
Well, I saw 3 movies.
What'd you see?
I saw Light of the World.
Light of the World,
which is the new animated story of Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, do we need another Jesus movie?
Always.
Really?
I don't know.
The
I'm full of the Lord after
Jesus-
being at Jeff Salter's
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
last
yeah.
night.
But yeah.
No, I'm serious.
Jesus is the fourth most portrayed character in film and TV history,
Yeah, I could see that.
with like 348 appearances. You have a guess on who the other three are?
Who the other three? What?
1, 2, and
Most
3. Jesus is
portrayed
fourth.
characters?
Yeah.
The devil.
The devil.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Where is he? 2?
Nope. Number 1.
Number 1?
Yep.
Wow.
Think about it. How many horror films have had the devil in it?
I love devil movies.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I love devil movies.
Well, then you should go see The Conjuring, The
Yeah.
Last Rites.
Yeah. What's your favorite devil movie?
Rosemary's Baby.
Good choice.
Thank
Do you know I cannot watch that again? I can't watch it again.
I can, but boy, it's one of those.
It's the only devil movie where the devil wins.
It does.
That's why I can't watch it.
Yeah.
When she goes over and is like, "Oh, that is my child." I mean, she doesn't say that, but that's what
Yeah.
what Polanski is trying to say.
Yeah.
That she's going to raise the devil's
kid.
born. I'm like, no, Mia, go back to Frank. Don't do it.
One devil to the other.
Man, that is a powerful movie, and I have never watched it again.
I have watched it several times, only because I admire the pacing on it.
Oh, it's
I
so
admire
good.
the characters in it.
Cassavetes is outstanding.
God, yes, it's just.
And the rapes, I shouldn't tell you the movie, but
No,
the scene where the devil comes in. And,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah,
that's rough.
It's one of those that will stay with you.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. You want to hear a great story about that? So Frank is supposed to do Tony Roma, which he did do with his then wife, Mia Farrow. He calls Robert Evans, the executive producer, and says, what the hell's going on? Mia's supposed to be here yesterday. And he goes, Frank, we're 3/4 of the way through the movie. She can't leave.
Yeah.
And she goes, that's not how it works, buddy. I'm Frank Sinatra. You get her here tomorrow or I'll have your ass. And hangs up. And Evans doesn't know what to do. There's no way they can let her leave.
Right.
So Mia's in tears and she says, I'm not leaving. Don't worry. The next day, one of Mickey, whatever his name was, Frank's henchmen, shows up with a manila envelope, gives it to Mia. She opens it on set and it's divorce papers from Sinatra. And that's how he divorced Mia Farrow.
Wow.
And they had to stop shooting for 2 days because obviously she broke down.
Well, yeah.
And how are you going to do a set scene with John Cassavetes when your husband just divorced you? And it's Frank Sinatra.
Although it probably paid into the emotional moments of that film.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they shot it, but
Did she win an award for that?
not that I know.
Yeah, she should have. She
Yeah.
was pretty good in that too.
Yeah, she was. She was.
And
But-
Ruth Gordon
Ruth
as
Gordon.
the devil's wife.
Yeah.
I love her. Always have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great actress.
But-
What else did you see? I'm sorry. I'm taking
Oh,
all your
well,
time.
again, it's back to the light of the world. It's an animated story of Jesus. That I like the idea. We don't really need another Jesus movie, but I like the idea that this one is sort of designed for kids.
Good.
Because John, one of the disciples,
Right.
is depicted as a teenager, a small kid. And so I think this is going to be one of those DVDs that's going to be in every Sunday school class, across the country, because it's sort of a gateway into that story for very young people. Now they hit on all the elements of it starts with Jesus putting together the disciples and ends with the resurrection. So we get the main storyline and we see the Sermon on the Mount, we see them feeding, but we don't dwell on that. The story's more about friendship and loving each other and taking care of each other. And so I like that. The people who behind it worked at Disney for years. They did the animated Mulan and the animated Aladdin. So they've got this 2D animation really works. And I will give them credit. This film is aimed at young people, but we do include the crucifixion. And that's why the film has a PG rating. I want people to know that. It's not the gruesome, gory crucifixion we have seen so many times.
With the thorns and the whole
Well,
spikes and the whole bit.
Jesus is wearing the crown of thorns, and we see him on the cross, but we don't see them nailing him up and the whippings. So I give them credit for saying we've got to have
Gotta
that
be
there.
accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, because why do we have a resurrection if we don't have that part of the story? So I give them credit. They could have cheated on that and got a G rating, but I don't think film producers hate the G rating. People will not go see a G rated movie.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Star Wars, the original Star Wars, New Hope, was going to be a G rated movie,
but they didn't.
And Lucas said, "Ooh, PG."
Yeah, I'm sorry I took up so much of your time, but that was outstanding, and that was the best Karnak we've ever done.
Well, we'll do better next time.
Outstanding.
That was so much fun. This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
Is that the one that made me laugh? No.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Once again, the prospect of a federal government shutdown looms on the 30th of this month. But one political observer says Republicans probably can't count on Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer's help this time around.
Yeah.
On the Salem News program this week on Capitol Hill with Tony Perkins, Elizabeth Mitchell, White House correspondent for the Daily Signal, says Schumer got burned for standing up to his own party earlier this year.
In this very polarized political climate, the fact that Schumer worked with Republicans in the past really gave him negative political points with his party, because the Democrats right now, their main mission, what they're all aligned around, their focus is opposing Trump. So I think he's going to be very careful to avoid that, again, because of all these radicals in his party saying he shouldn't have done that. This really could lead to a shutdown. Republicans really don't want to shut down as the party in power.
The full interview with Elizabeth Mitchell will be heard on This Week on Capitol Hill, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Time Saturday on the Salem News Channel. The Trump administration is pushing the Supreme Court for a fast and definitive decision on tariffs.
In Supreme Court filings this week, the administration used stark language as it asked justices to intervene and reverse an appeals court ruling that found most of the president's import taxes are an illegal use of an emergency powers law. It warned the High Court that if the president loses tariff authority, it would thrust America to the brink of economic catastrophe. Greg Clarkson, Washington.
President Trump has signed an executive order to rebrand the Department of Defense as the Department of War. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 220 points, the NASDAQ dropped 7. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for. For this free information, call 800-422-1609, 800-422-1609, 800-422-1609, or simply visit godra.com.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A semi-truck fire caused delays yesterday afternoon on Highway 58 near General Beale Road. CHP reports getting the call about the semi-truck fire just before 5 o'clock Thursday afternoon. The driver managed to get out of the truck safely, but traffic was brought to a standstill while personnel worked to clear the scene. A man accused of attacking his wife will have to face a hearing to determine whether or not he's competent to stand trial. Andre Lamont Harvey claims his wife recruited lovers to kill him because the rapper Blueface is his brother. He also told officers the Illuminati were part of a plot on his life. His wife was in bed with their 4-year-old daughter when she says Harvey attacked her after accusing her of being unfaithful. His hearing is set for next month. He potentially faces charges of felony assault and spousal abuse. A woman has been arrested in connection to a crash that happened last month, leaving a person dead and 2 others injured. 35-year-old Keona Shanice Hyde was booked into jail Wednesday on multiple charges, including gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated, driving at an unsafe speed, and failing to stop at a red light or stop sign. One victim was ejected from the vehicle and found in the road. Police declared her dead at the scene. Hyde is being held on $500,000 bail. Police have arrested a suspect in a fatal stabbing that happened in East Bakersfield. Officers responded at about 1:30 Tuesday afternoon. They were directed to the 400 block of South Brown Street, where they found a man with severe lacerations and blunt force trauma to the face. Despite life-saving attempts by first responder, he was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect, Michael Williams, has been booked into the Kern County Jail. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think? This is the army where you're shooting a mile away? You gotta get a post like this. Bing, you blow their brains all over your nice side police.
Ever bring up my father?
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180. KERN.
If you want to bring up my father, bring it up to me in my face. If you want to tell me what my father would do, come to this radio station. I'll give you my home address. And you talk about my father to my face.
842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Friday, 5th day of September. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live, KERNradio.com. Bottom of the hour, we'll get into the fight between Robert Kennedy Jr. over the CDC. Even Republican senators, both doctors, John Barrasso and Bill Cassidy, think this guy's a loon, as I tried to explain to you. And again, I don't understand this, because 2 years ago, when he was a Democrat, y'all would agree with me that he's a nutcase. Now, once he gets inside the Trump umbrella, y'all are like, oh, we love Robert Kennedy. Okay, fine. And as I mentioned, and I don't know why, I do know why, and I'll explain why I've gotten invested in this story. Chanel Jones returned to the Today Show. She's the young black reporter who lost her husband to glioblastoma, brain cancer, which, if caught early, leaves you with about 15, 16 months. If not caught early, you die in 6 months. But bottom line, there is no cure. She lost her husband at the age of 45. They welcomed her back to the Today Show. And we got a ton of audio. And I'll be honest, I don't know why, but I cried like a baby through this whole damn thing. She's got a 16-year-old and a pair of 13-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. They all look just like her father. And it's just weird. Of all the cast members on the Today Show, they've made, while he was alive, they made Chanel Jones the one who they pumped up her family. Uche, the man that died, literally an African-American, was on there all the time with the kids, and they all look like him. It's just a sad, sad story. We'll get into that. And we'll talk a little tennis before we get out of here. Amanda Anisimova is going to be in the finals against Aryna Sabalenka. I don't give the American a great chance, but who knows? We'll see what happens. And again, we had a great match today with Djokovic and Alcaraz, and it's going to be Alcaraz Sinner in the finals, and that's going to be a great final. In the meantime, football is back. Got delayed last night because of spitting and lightning, but it's back. Dallas looked better than a lot of people thought, but that means that our good friend, married man, and the top handicapper in the land, Brandon Lang, is back. What is up, my brother?
Here's how I feel.
All right.
Here's how I feel right now.
All right.
The story I'm about to tell you is not true.
Okay.
But the theme of the story and the punchline of the story is how I feel after having to try to get to 10-1 in football, my last 11 at BrandonLang.com. It's how I feel after having the over as my best bet in that game last night. 21-20 at the half, 41 points, 47.5 is the total. One score gets it for you, and they score 3 points. How I feel. Man breaks out of prison. He's a murderer, rapist, child molester, evil guy. Breaks out of prison. And he breaks into a house of a husband and wife. And he immediately ties the husband to a chair. And it's about to go down with the wife. And so he gets on top of the wife. And then he kisses her on the cheek and goes into the bathroom. And the husband looks at the wife and says, babe, you need to understand something right now. We're going to die this afternoon. I've seen this guy in the news. He's a bad man. He's going to come out of that bathroom. He's going to kill me and he's going to rape you. Our only shot out of this, our only shot to survive is you've got to close your eyes and make love to him. You need to close your eyes and go back to your high school sweetheart who you lost your virginity with. You've got to take one for the team, babe, because there's no way out of this. I'll forgive you. We both slept with people before we met. That's what people do. And we have a happy marriage and we'll get past this. Just take one for the team. You got to save our life, babe. Save it. You got to save us. And she's looking at him like, turns her head and she goes, babe, he didn't kiss me on the cheek, babe. He whispered in my ear, I'm gay. Where's the Vaseline? Go get it, babe. We'll save our life, babe. Go take one for the team, babe. You go get him, babe. Okay? You go do what you got to do. So that's how I kind of feel today, bud. I kind of feel that way today after I didn't get the over with 3 points in the second half, courtesy of a fumble at the 10-yard line, a rain delay that took all the momentum out of the game, and then they came out of the rain delay, thunder delay with punt. Dallas stuck on downs because CeeDee Lamb, who, by the way, I pray to God that I get that opportunity. Well, I think CD needs to go back and revisit which God he's praying to because God didn't give him the hands. The Bible was 2 catches that cost me.
I thought it was 3.
Well, there was one early in the game, but the 2 on the last drive, the one down the middle, you and I both know he should have had that.
Yeah. Oh, no question.
And the one he dove, he didn't even need to dive. He could have ran underneath it. He just gagged bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm very disappointed in you because I really expected that joke would hit home a lot bigger laugh from you.
Well, I was, and you can go back and watch this because we're now broadcasting on YouTube. You can go to Kern Radio and just look up Ralph Bailey and watch me do the show.
God, that ought to be
and
good.
I was trying to hide my laughter. I didn't want to laugh loud. But both Chris and I off mic were hysterics.
And
I was trying to keep my head down.
Howling.
I didn't even want the YouTube people to see me laughing. I had to put my head down.
Everybody's been howling, but it's how I feel.
Yeah.
I literally
41 at halftime. Wow.
My wife, I came upstairs and she goes, how's it look? And I'm dancing. I go, we're 41 plus. I said, all we need is over. I said, good, let's go to bed. I'm good.
Yeah.
I went to bed feeling a victory and woke up in complete and utter shock. And then I saw the CeeDee Lamb out there. How you doing, buddy?
I'm outstanding, sir. How's married life?
Oh, my God. Perfection.
Yeah, outstanding. Good to hear that. Good to hear that.
We are at 2 years and a month and still have not raised our voices to one another.
I was
at
a beautiful, ornate, big wedding this weekend. A very good friend, Robbie Pratt. And I still turned to somebody and said, I still like the way Brandon Lang did it. I still think I'd do the Elvis thing.
Yeah.
My man had 300 people at his wedding. He had 13 groomsmen. I mean, it was beautiful. But I think I'd still go the Elvis thing, which was funny and romantic all at the same time, dude. Your wedding was classic. Absolutely classic.
I wish you could have came to the nightclub because the nightclub is even more epic.
I know. I'm just the dumbest.
You weren't feeling well. I get it, but
who the hell gets?
My baby had on was just, oh my God, he mocked my thigh boots, leather skirt. You'd been like, holy boy, my man hit the lotto. The DJ was absolutely insane. Everybody, it was just epic. But I thank you for that because that's what we were trying to get. We're trying to get just to make it very personal.
Yeah.
That that we could connect with everybody. 300 people, 12 groomsmen. You can't connect with everybody.
Exactly.
So basically, what you have is everybody's there just for the food and the booze and just to be seen.
There were literally people there that I knew that I didn't even get to talk to.
Yeah, that's the problem with the big wedding.
Yeah, and your brother singing. I mean, it was just classic. It really was.
Yeah, Mom, that was great.
Yeah.
But so that's it, man. So here we go.
All right, what do you got?
Here we go. Week 1 in the NFL. I don't see if the Jets in Pittsburgh played 8 quarters that they would get over the total. I don't think Mike Tomlin's going to drop Aaron Rodgers back. You know, I just don't believe it. Arthur Smith isn't going to – they're going to run the football, and you're going to see that Jets defense, you know, no Rodgers tendencies. Conversely, Justin Fields against that Pittsburgh defense, post totals 38. Lowest total for a reason. I just don't see them getting anywhere near that total. Along those same lines, I'm on Baltimore over Buffalo. I just can't for the life of me. People don't realize what a miss it was for Baltimore last year not getting the Super Bowl. They were the best team in the NFL. In the regular season, the Baltimore Ravens last year were 12-0 in games against playoff teams. And in those games, they outgained each and every one of them by 126 yards per game. There's no way they should have lost at Buffalo. They'd have beat the doors off Kansas City. Now, I don't know if they could have beat Philly, because Philly went into Baltimore and beat them during the regular season. But the reason why Baltimore didn't get home field advantage is because they had 2 throwaway games. The game at Cleveland, where they led by 14 in the fourth quarter, and your who went in there and beat them?
Who?
Your Raiders.
Did we really?
Your Raiders went in and upset Baltimore, or they would have had home field advantage.
I don't remember. Last year, the last couple of years, it's just been a wash for me.
I know. And then here are your Raiders out of the box going to New England.
What do you think?
I know a lot of people are liking them in the game. I got to see Geno in that offense before I jump on their bandwagon.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel's got a real good defense. That's another game that I think that was when I said another total that I like is Vegas and New England under the posted total. I don't see those guys getting anywhere near that total. I think both those defenses match up well with their respective offenses. I do. So I lean towards the under there.
Can the Raiders
in the NFL?
Can the Raiders win 8 games? I'm pretty sure that's the over-under for the season. I think it's 7. Can the Raiders win 8 games? Can they go 8-9?
God,
I have no idea. I have no idea because I stopped watching them about 7 games in the last season. So
I know.
I don't even know our personnel.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But once again, Pete Carroll, I don't know why he took the job, to be honest with you. I don't, for whatever reason, but he's got the job, and I wouldn't put it past him to get them to 8 wins and finish 8-9. So my answer is yes.
I've told you my boy, my former sports editor is director of communications, and he tells me, he says, Ralph, I can't tell you how many games we're going to win, but I can tell you honestly, I wouldn't lie to you, Pete's brought a whole new feel in the facility. He says it's a whole different place. Now, what does that mean on the field? I have no idea. But he's never said anything like that to me before.
Yeah, that just goes to show you. So I'm going to go over. I'm going to say they get to at least 8 wins.
Yeah, okay.
And I agree with you there. So 2-team teaser that I really like.
All right, what do you got?
2-team teaser. Broncos from -8 to -1. Might be 8.5. Doesn't matter. Take them down to -1.5. If Cam Ward goes in there and plays against that Denver defense, his first game of the year, out of the box, rookie quarterback starting on the road in their first NFL game. You had it a couple times last year, and I remember noting it to some people that they're like 2-21 over the course of their career. It's just too hard of an assignment asking a team to start a rookie quarterback out of the box and literally play a game. I just don't see it. So, and then Detroit. No one's talking about Detroit.
I know.
All everybody's talking about is Green Bay, Micah Parsons, oh my God, here they come. And here's Detroit, healthy, granted, have to replace both coordinators, but Dan Campbell was quoted saying, we thought they were going to leave last year before the season started.
Right.
And they stayed around one more year. So he kind of said, we were kind of grooming because we knew they were going to leave at the end of last year, and they did. So I don't think the coordinator thing bothers Detroit as much. So I'm going to take Denver down to -1.5. The line's up to +9.5. And I think you got yourself a nice winning two-team teaser right there. Couple home dogs. I tell you what, the Bengals have no defense whatsoever. Don't be surprised to see Cincinnati sniffing around there as a little home dog. I'm sorry, Cleveland sniffing around there as a little home dog. And you watch the Saints. You watch the Saints just kind of do a stinker in that Arizona game. Not a game I love, but maybe a couple home dogs that kind of sniff. College.
Okay.
Big game everybody's talking about, Oklahoma, Michigan.
Can't wait.
0-5. 0-5 against the spread their last 5 non-conference road games.
Who?
Michigan is 0-5 against the spread their last 5 non-conference road games. So I'm all lean towards Michigan. Couple of nice juicy underdogs for you. I had South Florida plus the 5.5 over Boise. Beat them 34-7. Killed them by 27. Had that to start the college season Thursday night. I'm going to come back with South Florida plus 17.5 at Florida. Florida, after this game, has LSU and Miami of Florida. If you don't think there's a look ahead and you don't think in the second half he's got to say, I got to get my boys out, South Florida plus the 17.5 and Mississippi State at home plus 6.5. SEC, just remember I said this, SEC teams getting points or laying 3 or less in non-conference play. That means the SEC, which we all agree is the strongest conference in football.
Clearly.
Anytime in non-conference play, they're laying 3 or less. The Auburn crushing Baylor, they were laying 1.5. Take the points. Mississippi State's getting points at home. Arizona State. Mississippi State's much better than people think. Keep an eye on Mississippi State plus the points.
So take the SEC. Take the SEC underdog.
Always. SEC underdogs in non-conference play or an SEC favorite of 3 or less in non-conference play. Take the SEC all day.
2 real quick football questions before I let you go.
Go.
Your thoughts on Arch Manning, and is Shedeur Sanders ever going to see the field in Cleveland?
Arch Manning was set up to fail from a publicity standpoint because to think that kid, you couldn't have asked for a worse situation for that kid to have to go into at the Horseshoe against against the Super Bowl defensive coordinator and Matt Patricia, and have to try to execute first game out of the box on the road in the Horseshoe against a defensive genius playing chestnut checkers. There were some plays to make. He did not make them. He's got 2 years to get NFL ready.
Yep.
He's got the body and the arm. He's got to work on mechanics. He's got a long way to go. But if you look at Eli as a freshman or even Peyton as a freshman,
it was horrible.
He struggled a little bit. There's just too much pressure on him in that first game. I think he's going to be fine by the end of the year, but he was set up to fail by the schedule maker having to go into the Horseshoe. And then secondly, part 2 of your question.
Does Shedeur ever see the field in Cleveland?
No.
Never?
No.
Not this season?
No, I don't think so, unless both those guys get hurt. I thought the regression in the last preseason game cost him big time. Now he may jump leaps and bounds working on the practice squad and working with the 2s and the 3s. He might jump up, but there's something stinky going on with his whole situation. But I'll tell you this, and mark my words, the ace in the hole, the ace that Deion has in his back pocket is Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. And I will mark my words. No one said it. No one said a damn word about it. Brandon Lang on your show right now saying it would not surprise me somewhere down the road, Shedeur Sanders is in a Dallas Cowboy uniform as a backup quarterback. Deion Sanders will call him that marker with Jerry Jones.
Does Deion join him? Leave Colorado?
No, Deion's health is a problem, by the way.
Yeah.
His health is a little bit of a problem, and I think he's got 2 years max at Colorado before he says see you later.
Yeah,
due to his health.
Yeah, probably. He's had several issues. You're right. Well, wonderful to have you back, my brother. It's going to be a great season. It's good to hear from you. Say hello to your beautiful wife. And I will talk to you next week.
Got it, brother.
All right, Pop. Take care. Brandon Lang is back. Quick time out. Not a lot of time before we get to the bottom of the hour. It's TRBS. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Coming up on the Monday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, lethal authority against drug traffickers. Trump blew up one cartel speedboat, and now there's deployment of military resources to suggest there could be more of the war on drugs on the way. We'll talk about that, plus everything coming in from over the weekend on Clay and Buck.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Attention, Medicare beneficiaries here in Kern County. If you are eligible for Medicare and looking for a doctor who listens and cares about you with minimal wait times and prompt referral authorizations, it's time you learned about QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA contracts with most Medicare Advantage health plans and provides you with access to a large network of outstanding doctors and quality hospitals right here in Kern County. Medicare Advantage health plans go beyond original Medicare benefits coverage, and understanding these coverage differences may be confusing. Call us today at 661-554-4544. Let us help you understand your healthcare options for 2025. Call today, 661-554-4544. That's 661-554-4544. Get the information you need and the coverage you deserve. For accommodations of persons with special needs at meetings, call 661-554-4544, TTY 711.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change,
I went home,
My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay, e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Welcome to Sundale Country Club, your home for golf, family, and friends. Sundale is more than golf. It's a jewel in the heart of Bakersfield, the proud home of the award-winning Phoenix restaurant, combining upscale dining with magnificent golf course views. Sundale Country Club will soon be your favorite getaway without even leaving town. To reserve a tea time or make a dining reservation, call 661-831-4200. Open to all, but ask about our membership benefits. Golf, family, and friends. It all comes together at Sundale Country Club.
Need cash fast? Tap into the value of your home with a home equity line of credit from Valley Strong Credit Union. Whether it's for home improvements, debt consolidation, or that dream vacation, you can get your cash offer in minutes. That's right, just minutes to unlock the power of your home's equity with no hard credit pull to see how much cash you can get. No stress, no waiting, just smart local banking that puts you first. Grow your possibilities with Valley Strong Credit Union. Visit valleystrong.com to get started today.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I don't think she ever did. And she never did. Don't you love her ways? Don't you love her as she's walking out the door? Did you do that on purpose? 1,000 times before. Hi. My self-esteem, suffice it to say, took a blow. And I'm not going to talk about it. I promised myself I was not going to talk about it. 842-5376, 842-KERN. We're headed into the back half of the 4 o'clock hour. I want to thank Brandon Lang for joining us yet again. I was sucking up to him. I enjoyed his wedding. But if I had the dough, I'd do it the way Robbie did it. I wouldn't have the BC Renegade team as my groomsman. He had all 53 there. I don't know if I'd do that. He had 13 groomsmen.
That's too much.
I wouldn't do that, but I would do everything he did. I'd have it at the El Tango. That place is an unbelievable venue. I would have the young lady from the Gentleman's Club, organize it for me. She was a wonderful coordinator. And I'd have the Navy SEALs there. That's an inside joke, but that I literally can't even tell you about. I'd have them speak at my wedding, as a matter of fact, the Navy SEALs. We head into the back half of the hour. We'll talk about Robert Kennedy Jr. and Jeff Salter's night when we come back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180.
I think I'm going to bet this game.
With us for the news, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Congress is expected to allow President Trump's temporary takeover of Washington's police department to expire next week as the 30-day limit comes to an end. Trump took control of the Metropolitan Police Department in August for 30 days, in addition to deploying hundreds of National Guard troops, saying he was going to take our capital back from criminals. Congress would have to approve an extension. President Trump has signed an executive order to rebrand the Department of Defense as the Department of War. He criticized the previous name as woke and said the new name is more appropriate. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, now referred to as the Secretary of War, emphasized a shift to maximum lethality. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 220 points. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A semi-truck fire caused delays yesterday afternoon on Highway 58 near General Beale Road. CHP reports getting the call about the semi-truck fire just before 5 o'clock Thursday afternoon. The driver managed to get out of the truck safely, but traffic was brought to a standstill while personnel worked to clear the scene. A man accused of attacking his wife will have to face a hearing to determine whether or not he's competent to stand trial. Andre Lamont Harvey claims his wife recruited lovers to kill him because the rapper Blueface is his brother. He also told officers the Illuminati were part of a plot on his life. His wife was in bed with their 4-year-old daughter when she says Harvey attacked her after accusing her of being unfaithful. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states and situations.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
On the Monday Armstrong and Getty show, after a years-long hacking attempt, this is kind of an honor. Way to go. China has a file on you. They have a file on practically every single American, and they're ready to use it.
Look, we know you got busy lives on the weekend. We'll pay attention to the news so you don't have to, and we'll bring you all the very latest on Monday on the next Armstrong and Getty show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and
Who you got?
Coach Kessler's on the line.
Coach, what's really going on?
RB, what's up?
What's really going on, man? I haven't heard from you in a long time.
I've been working. Hey, I want a couple of sports little things, if you don't mind. I called Burdick's show this morning. What's your gut feeling on that guy spitting that loogie on Dak Prescott?
I think there's more to it. There's no excuse for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending the guy. But I saw some video because I didn't see the game. I just saw the clips where Dak spit, but didn't hit him. But after Dak spit, he looked at him and kind of gave him the head up like that was meant for you. That's how I interpreted it. That's how I interpreted it. He spit, looking at the guy, Jalen, and then after he spit, he kind of gave him like when the brother said, "What's up?" with their head, he gave him the head up thing. And I think that's what pissed Carter off. Now, that there's no excuse to spit on another human being. But I think there's just more to it. But he's just an idiot. And has the league come down with the suspension yet? Because I think he should get like 3 games.
Yeah, I was telling Chris, I haven't seen nothing, but I was saying at least, and Chris the same way, at least a game. I think it's got to be more than that. I mean, like you said, if spitting on the ground towards your feet and looking at you can entice you to spit on another person, that guy's got more shit. He's going to get everybody to entice him if he can't, handle his mud for that. I mean, golly, that's what I'm saying, Chris. Yeah, go ahead.
On the first play of the game, no less.
Right?
That's crazy.
I mean, seriously. So the other thing is that I'm just curious why everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people are giving Arch Manning a pass. I mean, the guy was, if he would have won the game, RB, he's the next Super Bowl champion, national championship, here we come. But because he loses and looks terrible, yeah, I get it. You're going into the horseshoe, you're getting all that. But the guy's not a brand new starter. And I mean, I don't know. I don't have nothing against him. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care. But all these talk shows are giving this guy a pass. I mean, don't you want to be on the biggest stage to prove your $6 million you made last year is worth?
Yeah.
It doesn't do very good. I mean, well, I mean, you're going into, it's a defense, so every defense is going to be different. So what if the guy, was a D coordinator for the NFL? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just curious. Instead of going, hey, you know what? He's got stuff to work on. Everybody's giving him a pass, just like your Lane guy. Yeah, I mean, he went in the horseshoe. This guy, but they put this guy on a pedestal, and that's the problem that happens sometimes.
Well, I think that's the nature. I think that's just the nature of life. I think that's just the nature of sports, particularly if you're an actor. and you're Henry Fonda's kid or you're Kirk Douglas's kid or Francis Ford Coppola, there's expectations. And if you bomb, they make it bigger than it is. And you know sports. Quarterbacks get too much attention when they win. They get too much blame when they lose. I just think it's the nature of media. It's the 21st century, and the word in media now is content. And it's like, why does every sports show talk about the Cowboys? They're irrelevant. They're not America's team anymore. They haven't been to the damn playoffs in years. They haven't been to a championship game in years. But if you turn on Cowherd, if you turn on First Look, if you turn on Stephen A., believe me, in their rundown, the Cowboys will be in the top 5 stories every freaking show. So there's part of me that says it's one game. He's got a long season. Let's take a look at the kid. But I said the same thing when I came in here that Monday. I was like, Arch sucks, dude. I mean, he missed some throws, and his arm angle was just weird. But the other reason I personally give him a pass, because you know who else had a horrible game that day? Steve Sarkisian. I thought Sarkisian called a horrible game.
Yeah.
But
Coach said the same thing. No argument there. I don't know. I think, I don't disagree with you. That was part of it for sure. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not bagging on the kid. I think he's a great kid. The family's awesome. But, again, here we are putting these kids and paying for them. And who just like the kid who went from Tennessee to UCLA.
Yeah.
That guy's excuse.
Yeah. Now that's funny.
Money.
That's funny.
What's funny is the kid that went from UCLA to Tennessee did so much better too.
Yeah. And didn't the kid take a pay cut to go to UCLA?
Yep.
And now
yes, he did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But
Unbelievable.
he wanted to stay there, and I heard through the grapevine that his dad had something to do with that. Maybe like, hey, you got to get out here. And the guy had a great year last year, but it just goes to show you, man. I mean, it's just about the money and some of the I don't know. Like I said, I love talking sports with you, but these guys just with this money stuff, this NIL,
it's crazy.
It's just
crazy. And I have always been a proponent. I've always said when I was younger and they weren't getting paid, that somehow you had to cut these kids in. But I never, ever, ever imagined that kids would be making millions of dollars. That softball players, that's when it blew me away last season during softball season, when that girl moved from one school to another and they paid her $2 million and she took a bad team and got them to the finals. Yeah. And then she got ran out. They tried to run her out 2 nights in a row. She pitched well the first night, and then she got bombed in the first inning. And then I found out that she was making millions of dollars to play softball. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, they've got to. There's no way this can go because it'll just elevate. And what are they going to be making in a couple of years? 10, $15 million? I mean, how can this? It can't sustain itself.
No, at what point do you stop? I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
And now you can go wherever, and years back, you couldn't even transfer to schools without sitting a year. Now you can go to 5 schools in 5 years.
Yep. It's crazy.
Super crazy.
It is.
Super crazy. I know you got to get going. Hey, I just want to catch in with you.
All right, Coach.
Going good.
Everything's going great. I'm getting back out on the golf course this weekend.
That's what I was hearing. My last question was are you back on the course?
I'm going to give it a shot. I'm still in pain, but if I play 3 holes, I play 3 holes. If I play 9, I play 9. Hopefully I play 18. But I'm definitely going out there Sunday morning.
Good deal. Good to hear it. All right, bud.
All right, man.
We're going to go down and watch a little football this weekend.
Outstanding. Have a great weekend. Great hearing from you.
Hey, good talking to you guys. Keep up the good work.
All right, Don. Take care, man.
Hey,
all right.
RB,
yes, sir.
RB.
Yes, sir.
Fight on.
Oh, get out of here. Hang up on him. I hate SC. I'm not an SC fan. He's an SC freak.
That one I have to let him through. Sorry.
He and his wife.
I'll give you the Go Chargers with Jordan, but.
And I understand, his son set records at SC. I was about to say he attended SC. No, he set records.
Played under Steve Sarkisian as well.
Was old drunk back then?
Yep.
Yeah. God, I love that. That's one of my favorite stories. I hate to make fun of a guy's because he's cleaned himself up. He's clean and sober down in Texas. But that LA Times story where they published, talking about Steve Sarkisian, who was the offensive coordinator.
He was the head coach.
He was the head coach. He's now the head coach in Texas with Arch Manning. And he made a fool of himself at a pep rally in a drunken stupor. And that's when they started digging into his life. And they went to a Manhattan Beach bar that he went to with a couple of fellas. And the LA Times published his receipt. And the crazy thing, it was like 11:30 in the morning. And these guys had imbibed $1,500 worth of liquor. They were shooting like Don Julio or something.
Yeah, it was stupid expensive.
1942, something like that. $1,500 of booze at 11:30 in the morning. And it was like, uh-oh, Mr. Sarkisian won't be coaching in Los Angeles long. Yeah, I don't know. I came in sounding like Kessler, remember? On that Monday? I was like, Arch sucks now. Arch sucks. And then I started thinking about it, and I thought about how Sarkisian ran him on a sweep once. The kid didn't really run, and he's fast. He's got speed. And I do think his eyes look like plates. I think he was, giving it this. And I think you do have to weigh in the fact that it's his first start and it's the shoe and it is Matt Patricia. I think those aren't excuses. I think those are legitimate deals. But they play like, Garces this weekend. They play San Jose State or San Jose, whatever it is. So, he'll have 4 touchdowns and they'll rout him and we'll see what happens. I knew Texas wasn't a number 1 team. I can tell you that. That's why I'm 4-0. So I'm afraid to bet. The line is 3 tonight. Kansas City is a 3-point favorite over Chargers. Dizzle likes the Chargers. I think he's nuts. But of course, I'm going to lose. I think I'm going to bet. I got 15 minutes, don't I? Ooh, yeah, ooh. And I'm flush too. We just got paid today. Ooh, yeah. Has this thing started? Chris, turn around. Is this started or is that?
No, it's highlights.
Oh, they're just warming up. Okay. Yeah. All right, quick timeout. And I got to get to Jeff's tonight. I haven't even talked about that. We'll talk about Robert Kennedy and the Chanel Jones story somehow has touched me, and I'm going to bore you with that. I hope it doesn't bore you. She's the young reporter. She's 45 years old, and her college sweetheart, another great story, got diagnosed with glioblastoma, brain cancer, which basically is incurable. And again, if you catch it early, you get about 15 months. Don't catch it early, you got about 6 months. And she sat down with Savannah Guthrie on the Today Show. We've got a couple of bites, one really extended bite, but I think it's worth listening to. I really do. We'll play that for you. And if we have time, we'll talk a little bit about this weekend's tennis. Amanda Anisimova trying to win her first U.S. Open. Aryna Sabalenka trying to go back-to-back. And, of course, we know who's the only one that's won 3 in a row, Mr. Burdick.
Serena?
Damn Skippy. She did it 3 times in a row. Sabalenka trying to go back-to-back. And I don't care what's going on right now because it's going on right now, but it will be Sinner versus Alcaraz unless – what did you say? He was Canadian?
Yeah, the guy's Canadian.
Felix Unger? There's no way the Canadian can beat Sinner. No way. You got an update?
Trying to. My computer is not listening.
No chance. I'm guessing he won 6-2 in the first set, and it's 4-1 in the second set.
It is currently the first set still.
Okay, it's 4-1 Sinner.
No.
What is it?
2-0.
2-0 Sinner.
2-0 Sinner.
It'll soon be 4-1 Sinner.
More than likely.
Yeah, that is Sinner Alcaraz in the finals. Quick timeout. We're coming right back. TRBS on a Friday, right here on News Talk 96.1 AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1.
Messmaker?
Run it.
All right.
So the city council moved forward the idea of renaming South H Street to Avocado, de Cesar Chavez. I don't know, whatever. Look, it's not the name that bothers me. It could have been Cesar Chavez. It could have been Martin Luther King Jr. It could have been Buck Owens. It does not matter. At a time like this, when we don't have the money, how are we going to spend, from what I'm told, over $1 million to do a street name change? It's just not the right time to do it.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
Hope you join us every Thursday, particularly at 4:30, when Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors joins us. Daniel gives us a weekly update on the deficit and its growth. We look at silver and gold, and obviously the stock market and all kind of economic issues that most importantly impact you. But again, you guys know what Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors are all about. They're all about retirement. I keep telling you guys, it's one of the smartest moves that I've ever made financially. Call Daniel. 395-9400, 395-9400. If retirement is in your near future, or just tune in Thursdays at 4:30 when he joins us every week. Daniel Petrie,
is
the folks at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only. Does not constitute a solicitation or offer to buy or sell any security, feature, option, or other financial instrument, or to offer or provide any investment advisory or other services to any person in any jurisdiction by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Inc., DBA Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. The views expressed in this broadcast by us are prepared based upon the information available to us at the time, and we are under no obligation to update our views.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan. But if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
Let's take the ride. But the volleyball players are pretty cool too. So both Caucasian, but they have black girl booties squatting. God, Jennifer. Here, Jennifer Streltsov, and in fact, her whole
what it
family,
takes to win a blue ribbon.
dude,
Show off your baking, art, or photography at the Kern County Fair. But don't wait, entries close September 5th. Enter now at KernCountyFair.com.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
How did you guys match up? The dad had like this ghetto booty. The mom had the ghetto booty.
Listen while I talk to you.
And Jennifer
I tell you what we're gonna do. There's a new thing that's going around.
It was like a skit.
And I'll tell you what you're putting down. Just move your body all around and just shake. Oh, mama, shake. That's the way to do it. Shake.
All right, I got 8 minutes. I'll try to sum up last night's event with Jim Scott as the MC. It was the Police Activities League's hometown hero. Frank Gifford has won. David Carr has won. I found out Lily Marsh, head of Honor Flight, Kern County, who I don't know. Sometimes I don't think Lily really likes me. I think she has to put up with me because we give her money. Well, I don't think she really, really. In fact, I don't think the whole Honor Flight family is that enamored with me. I think they put up. I think, don't get me wrong. I think there's some of them, like Deanna, the nurse, came up to me after the event last night. I think she likes me. She saved my life. I got bronchitis on one of the trips. And she literally saved my life. Because I just thought I was sick. And I just remember what she told me. She was like, look, bronchitis is a pulmonary disease. You do not want to have pulmonary problems at 35,000 feet. And I was like, ooh. Dude, like I got chills. I was like, ooh, she's right. That's a different deal up there than it is just to be laying in my apartment with bronchitis. I was like, damn, let me listen to this lady. And I gave her like $100 and asked her, she was like, I'll go get you some medicine. Her and Salty walked down to the local CBC in Virginia and got me a ton of medicine and brought me back to life. It was good seeing her. And like I said, or maybe I didn't, I don't know, because I've been talking about it with everybody, so I don't know what I said off the air or on the air. But I got to sit next to in fact, so I got invited to sit next to the general manager at KGET, Derek Jeffries, great kid. Yes, to me, he's a kid. And Jim Scott was the MC, and Jeff's entire family. I met Jeff's wife for the very first time. And I gave a little speech. And in my speech, I told the story about how we got stuck in Baltimore and how Jeff was able to be one of the leaders that got us fed. We were stuck in Baltimore International Airport without a plane. And Jeff and the leaders were able to not only feed the guys, because, you know, we could have, at my age, and I'm old, I could have gone the night without eating. I could have slept in the airport. But we had 80, 90, literally, I think, 100-year-old men with us who can't sleep in an airport, have to take food to take some of their medication. You forget about that. And they just needed to eat. They hadn't eaten until 1 o'clock. And the big joke, my big joke of the night was, I said that Jeff called a local rib joint in Baltimore, and he got on the phone and he said, I'm a local restaurant owner. My name's Gino Valpredo. And that was my biggest laugh of the night. And I went with the typical Bailey joke that I do everywhere I go. But I'm not here to talk about my show, which airs Monday through Friday, 3 to 6. But it was a great night, and now I got to tell the story because Chris has been playing songs. He says coincidentally.
I haven't been coincidental.
I saw my collegiate girlfriend, who was a big part of my life, you know, for many reasons. And you can call me whatever you want to call me, but she was the first white girl I ever dated, despite what people believed. I was 30, 92. I was 30 years old, growing up in Inglewood, working in Ladera Heights, all black communities. It never dawned on me to date a white girl. It really didn't. I mean, in high school, when I was the only black kid, of course, I dated Connie Tsoulis, Greek girl. That doesn't count. I don't count high school. But this was the first time I'd ever dated a white girl. And again, and I've told this story 100 times, you know who introduced us? David Couch's first wife, Holly. We were all in the communications department, and we were all in the same class. Renee, me, Holly, and Holly's best friend, who I was really good friends with. And I became really good friends with Couch's wife. And I don't think I knew that it was Couch's wife at the time, or maybe they were exes at that time. I'm not sure. But I became really good friends with them. You know, when you're in the same department, as you know, you end up taking the same classes together because they only offer them in certain now semesters. Back then it was quarters. And you end up hanging out with the same people because you're all taking, you know, communications law and just all the specialties of communications. And I was really good friends with them. And we were sitting having lunch one day, and Renee was sitting. I shouldn't bring up her name, but I already did. But anyway, what difference does it make? She couldn't hate me any more than she does right now.
Yeah.
But Renee was sitting over there, and I said, God, that girl is cute. And Holly was like, why don't you go talk to her? I was like, no, I can't date a white girl. Plus, she's in the department. We'd have classes together. You can't date the girl that you're having classes with every day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Isn't that a good theory?
I'm guilty of doing that, though.
You can't. You see each other every day. I'm not going to speak to her. So Holly gets up. I think she's going to get something else to eat. And she's sitting, and now she's talking to Renee. And I'm like, oh, I know exactly what she's doing. And now all of a sudden, here they both come. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe she's doing this. And she says, Renee, this is Ralph Bailey. Ralph, Renee. I'm like, hi. And that's really how it started. And we dated the whole 2 years out at Cal State. We even dated when we got out of school. I was a correspondent for the Californian. She was working at Chicago Title. with Greg Gallion was her boss at the time. And then she went on and worked at Castle and Cook. It was Bruce Freeman's right-hand man. So I saw her at the event, and I thought it'd be nostalgic just to say hello. She's friends with Justin Salters. That was my excuse to go up to her. She was talking to Justin. So I was like, Justin, I'm leaving. Oh, look, it's Renee Massey. I knew it was her. And I said, hi. And she said, hi. Like I owed her money. Like I just stole her purse, and turned her head and just kind of looked away. And Chris, my self-esteem just went right out the window. Right out the window. But it was a beautiful night. I'm sorry I took up all the time talking about me. But like I said at the top of the show, I never really knew. I mean, I knew, but to hear Jeff in a speech talk about his faith, his family, it was inspiring. And of course, PAL, the Police Activities League, is one of the best organizations in town. To hear the stories of these kids that get involved, and there were 4 or 5 of the kids that got involved with PAL as children who are now cops. It's just a great organization, a great night for a great man, my dear friend, Jeff Salters.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. U.S. immigration officials say some 475 people were detained during an immigration raid at a sprawling Georgia site where South Korean auto company Hyundai manufactures electric vehicles.
Homeland Security Investigation Special Agent in charge, Stephen Schrank, said that the majority of the people detained were from South Korea.
This operation underscores our commitment to protecting jobs for Georgians and Americans, ensuring a level playing field for businesses that comply with the law.
He said the detained workers were part of a network of subcontractors and that the employees worked for a variety of different companies on the site. Hyundai Motor Group is South Korea's biggest automaker and began making electric vehicles a year ago at the $7.6 billion plant. It employs about 1,200 people. I'm Haya Pinjwani.
Senate Republicans are formulating a plan to confirm a bunch of President Trump's nominees in batches over the next few weeks. They're trying to avoid the historic nomination blockade set up by Democrats. Senate Majority Leader John Thune explains the strategy.
We've kind of shopped these ideas around about how to do this in a way that actually helps us clear the backlog and creates a way for us to confirm the rest of Trump's administration, President Trump's administration.
Senator Thune made his comments on the Salem Radio Network.
And still
2 teenagers have been arrested on murder charges in the killing of a congressional intern who was struck by stray bullets during a shooting in the nation's capital. It's a crime that President Trump cited in announcing a law enforcement surge in Washington. Police were also searching for a third suspect. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 220 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Now you know they're going to win 47-0.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. Former Delano Police Chief Mark DeRocha has pleaded no contest to engaging in a graphic online conversation with an adult he thought was a minor. He would do no jail time. He'll instead be required to perform 240 hours of community service, and he'll have to undergo counseling as well as register as a sex offender. DeRocha was arrested last year after chatting on the gay dating site Grindr with a sheriff's department decoy. The profile said the person was 18. He told DeRocha he was 15. DeRocha stated that he didn't believe that he was 15. On Wednesday, witnesses saw the Kern County Sheriff's Office and officers from the California Highway Patrol at a laundromat in Frazier Park. Deputies from the Kern County Sheriff's Office were attempting to serve a felony warrant on Justin Beal while he was hiding inside and wouldn't come out. Later tried to run away, but was quickly caught. Tunnel to Towers has given a former Bakersfield police officer a new smart home. Jason White is a 17-year member of the Bakersfield Police Force and a Navy veteran. He suffered strokes while on duty and was diagnosed with spastic quadriplegia. Bakersfield Police Chief Greg Terry says the White family still can't believe that they were selected. The Powerball jackpot is up to $1.7 billion. That's the third largest prize in the history of the lottery. No one hit the big prize yet, but one ticket sold in Bakersfield made someone, well, almost a millionaire. 5 lucky numbers were scored at a local Albertsons on Wednesday. There were 2 winning tickets sold, one at the Albertsons on Old Highway 58 and Allen Road. One player scored the winning ticket that paid out $984,000 minus 24% federal tax. That's $747,000. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour.
All right, I'll leave it alone. You're right. It's a Friday night. I don't need the anxiety. I got love after lockup tonight.
What do you think? This is the Army where you shoot them a mile away?
What?
You got to get up close like this. You blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
See, your girl Letitia's going to be
it's
there.
The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast, final hour of the week as we wrap up another 5 days of outstanding radio broadcasting right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com. Still lots to do. We'll talk about the president. I don't know if you all are aware of this, but it is, according to the White House at least. But I'm pretty sure this has to technically go through Congress. I believe that's what Harry Truman did in 1947 when they changed the name of the Department of War, which George Washington named in 1789, to the Department of Defense coming out of World War II. Now, Mr. Trump, who, among other things, has changed Navy ships. You know, when they changed the Navy ships' names, when they took the name of Harvey Milk off of a naval vessel because he was gay, I thought that was stupid, which it is. And if you disagree with me, what is your thesis? That if you're gay, you can't be a brave killer and soldier and defend your country? Because let me tell you something. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there were a lot of gay soldiers in World War II. Because if there are 1 million men, you just take 1 million men, you can guarantee there are some gay men in there. Now, let me ask you a question. If you're a 21-year-old gay man and you just got drafted into World War II, are you going to tell anybody that you're gay? Do you think any gay men were openly gay in the 1940s? Probably not. There might have been a handful who were brave enough. Hell, you were a pariah in 1970s if you came out gay. Today, we're changing names of ships because the man is gay. So you better believe there were some soldiers who defended democracy in the 1940s who were gay. You can count on that. So for Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump to take the name off of a ship because the man was gay is about as dumb a thing as I have ever heard. A. The Robert E. Lee thing, where they took the picture down, the Democrats did, and Trump put it back up. I initially didn't have a problem with that, and here's why. I studied Robert E. Lee. And if you did, you know this as well. Robert E. Lee's conundrum, his battle within himself, was not, should I fight against slavery? Because he was a Union officer. He was an officer of the United States Army. Do I fight for slavery or do I fight against slavery? That was not the debate inside the head of Robert E. Lee, who, by the way, another historical fact for you, for those smoking weed in 10th grade and missed history, he married the granddaughter of George Washington, who had no children. It was his granddaughter by marriage. And where did the Lees live? What property in Virginia did the Lees, Robert E. and his wife, the granddaughter of George Washington, live? Chris Burdick.
I know you've told me this before.
I know I have. It is one of the most famous sites in Virginia. Now, there are only two famous sites in the state of Virginia. There's the Pentagon, and this place is right next to the Pentagon, but you've never been to D.C., so you don't know what I'm talking about.
I do not.
But every honor flight person knows exactly what I'm talking about. Arlington National Cemetery.
That's right.
That belonged to Robert E. Lee. Back to our story. I feel like a history professor. Lee's problem was, can I really shoot a fellow Virginian? Can I really fight against my home state, Virginia? He loved Virginia. He started colleges in Virginia. He owned that unbelievable property because whenever I go, I've gone on 5 trips on honor flight. We always go to Arlington National Cemetery. And every single time I go there, I have this weird, I don't know what to call it, because it's one of the most beautiful properties I have ever seen in my life. And then you have to catch yourself and say, at the same time, while it is beautiful, it is a cemetery. And my uncle, wasn't really my uncle, but he was, so I called him, was a funeral director. And I've never called a cemetery beautiful, never, ever. But Arlington, the property is, and I know this is a horrible thing to say, make a great golf course. I mean, I don't think it's funny, but really it's hilly and it's beautiful and it's green. It's gorgeous. Anyway, back to Robert E. Lee and Trump putting the picture back up at the military academy. I didn't have a problem with it at first because I knew that was his conundrum. That's why he fought the war. That's why he fought with the Confederates, because he couldn't shoot a fellow Virginian and he wasn't going to let them run over his home state. And then I saw the picture. And in the background, there is a black slave holding his horse. Now, I know my audience is majority Caucasian, and I know you will never understand why that bothers me and everybody else with skin that looks like mine. And I know I could never explain it to you. It just is what it is. But that disturbed me. But Trump did it anyway. And then now they're taking names off ships, and now they're calling the Department of Defense the Department of War. And I thought about just ignoring it because it's a stupid story. I don't think it'll get through Congress. I'm pretty sure it has to go through Congress. And even if it does, what difference does it make what it's called? So what, we're a better country now because we're the Department of War? What, Xi and Putin are shaking in their boots now because we're the Department of War? The reason that Truman did this is for the very words of Franklin, did I say Franklin Roosevelt? I beg your pardon. I'm a horrible history teacher. It was Teddy Roosevelt. It was his cousin who said, speak softly, but carry a big stick. And what that means is, as I talked about early in the show, just how I think most of us were raised by our parents or by our father. Don't start nothing. but end it. Don't put your hands on anybody out of nowhere, but don't you let anybody put their hands on you. But now I guess Pete Hegseth, who I think is an absolute idiot, and to support myself, if you want to argue with me, all I have to say is he went from a weekend Fox and Friends guy to lead the Pentagon. Can you honestly think that's a smart play? I mean, I would love to sit down and talk with you guys and try to walk me through how you think it's smart to take a guy who was working not even full-time at Fox and make him head of the Pentagon, head of the military, the Department of War? Really? Okay. I'm sorry. I think he's an idiot. And I think every time he opens his pie hole, he proves it.
Words matter. Titles matter. Cultures matter. George Washington founded the War Department. We'll see. Stand by.
Words don't matter. Not to Xi. Not to Putin. What are you talking about? Words matter. No, they don't. We're not a better country now that we're the Department of War. We're not better. We're not stronger. We're not. It's crazy. It's stupid. In my opinion. All right, let's go to the phones. Who you got?
Howard's on the line for you.
Howard, you're on the Ralph Bailey Show.
Well, you just to finish up with Lee, people don't realize how beloved he was. Actually, by both sides, respected. He was offered command of the Union Army first and turned it down. People don't remember that part because he said, again, people don't realize how strong people felt about their states back then. We were in an era of federalism, and states really are now not the same as they were 150 years ago.
Aren't you supposed to be on yesterday?
Today's Friday. No, I called it about the Navy ships.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Just a quick clarification.
Yes.
Honestly, since about, I think it was 1869, the Navy has very strict protocols from battleships that literally down to tugboats on the naming criteria. The ships that are being renamed, which is about 3 or 4 of them, like the Ginsburg and all that, don't meet the criteria. They had a specific criteria. There were cities, states, rivers, things like that. And most ones that are named for men are usually like Medal of Honor winners are known for particular valor, not just because they served. They're not named after average veterans, which, to be honest, was Harvey Milk. But for example, they named them after people that's the truth.
Howard, let me stop.
They violated the protocol.
Let me stop you.
Sure.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You really think they changed the name because of protocol or because he was gay?
Well, what about the Ginsburg? Was Ginsburg gay? That was renaming that ship.
Nobody was Jewish. Nobody was Jewish. She was Jewish.
But she's not a veteran. She didn't serve in combat. She had nothing to do with the military. That's the whole point.
And you think you honestly believe it was protocol, not because of who those people were?
Well, again, that's when I think words matter. I think there's an attitudinal difference for domestic consumption in when you're trying to go back to a warfighting capability and getting rid of DEI. And by the way, it'll still be the Department of Defense and the War Department. They talked about that. It's going to be dual, like it was before.
And you think something's changed? And you think something's changed?
Yeah.
You think we're better now?
And Trump is. I think Hegseth has talked about the warrior ethos, and recruitment is actually up. The troop morale is better. The troops in line, the troops on the front lines, the troops that are serving, like Hegseth. That's the important part. Not you or I, the civilians. It's how the troops feel, the morale. The rebuilding the military. We're in a dangerous world, and to worry about somebody who's basically a department head.
Howard, it's been hours. How do you know that the recruitership has been up? It's been hours since they've made this decision.
No. I mean, they're Hegseth. The numbers are up. Numbers are up.
And you think it's because of Pete Hegseth? I
think morale is better. Ask the troops on the line. They've had, if morale is up and recruitments are up, and you have a head of the department. No other explanation other than that he and Trump have taken command. What would you attribute it to?
I would attribute it to a more dangerous world, a more need for folks. I cannot subscribe that a 17-year-old boy in Omaha, Nebraska, signed up for the Army because of Pete Hegseth, a former Fox weekend news anchor. Come on, Howard.
In combat, who had tours of duty. Think about it this way:
and you think
a dangerous world, recruitment would have been up since 9/11 consistently. It was down under Biden. Senior officers were leaving. Senior officers, they just had an article. Senior officers were refusing to go into the command program because they had it as part of DEI, where they actually had to have psychological evaluations, not based on combat performance, not based on merit. 40% of the officers chose not to apply for a promotion. That department has just been changed.
Well, I pray you're wrong, Howard. I pray you may be right, but I pray you're wrong. If one guy can affect recruiting, we're in bad shape. If young men don't want to serve their country because they want to serve their country, but one idiot Fox host has convinced them that we're bigger, badder, stronger because we're changing names, we're putting up pictures, and we're doing this culture change, we're in bad shape, Jack. We're in bad shape.
Time will tell. I'd say 2 or 3 years from now, you're going to see a complete change in the attitude of the military. They're already getting rid of programs that have nothing to do with war fighting. That's the important thing. And those were changes from Trump through Hegseth. You're seeing a dramatic change in the war fighting capability. You're seeing a change in the operational status that we're doing. You're seeing a change in the entire.
But we're talking about names. That's not what we're talking about, though. We're talking about names.
Names are part of it. It's a change in the culture of the war fighting of our military. That means names. We're not changing. You're not using DEI for name selections anymore, which is what they were doing. They were taking people that were not capable under the Navy rules for over 100 years of being named to a ship and doing it for political correctness. And it's being reversed. That's the simplest answer. It wasn't just milk. It was 3 or 4 others.
Well, if our kids are so weak of mind that they can now serve for their country because we call it the Department of War, I think we're in big trouble. We've got a weak
attitudinal change. It's part of the cultural change.
Well, I got to go, Howard. I got other things to talk about, but that's
we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, because that's if you're right, and you could be. I'm frightened. I really am. But I got to fly. I got to fly.
That's right.
All right, man.
Go. And have a good weekend. Anyway.
You too, buddy. Always good to talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Quick time out. I'll try to get to some of the stuff I got to get to when we come back. It's TRBS on a Friday, right here on News Talk 96.1. AM 1180 KERN. Am I down already?
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180.
Am I losing already?
KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, we already know I'm going to win the football picks. We'll find out by how much. We got some new job numbers coming out that nobody is prepared to believe, and news, traffic, and weather. And we'll talk jobs with the nice folks from America's Job Center Current, 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Had a wonderful time this weekend at Robbie and April Pratt's beautiful, gorgeous, unbelievable wedding. But afterwards, I still had to drop in with my good friend Mike Area to KC Steakhouse. You know, they have a new happy hour that starts at 9, and Liz and Megan will hang out with you as long as people are there. It's not going to be till 2 o'clock in the morning, but and of course, Jimmy and Bobby are live with music Tuesday through Saturday. And we even jumped over to the Stockyard for a minute to say hi to Haley. She's the regular bartender next door. Still like Easy Type Bar. And I know. Keep encouraging you guys after dinner or maybe even before dinner. Try it out. Listen to Lottie or Vanessa, one of the two of the girls that they have live music on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturday nights, and try one of the new craft cocktails that they have. Or you can just sit and have dinner. And don't forget about the banquet room for meetings and different events. It's just been a great game changer for Cassie Biddle. KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsors of the Ralph Bailey Show.
Please meet Paul Sheldon's client, Rod Geis.
Hello, Kern County. This is Rod Geis. My wife and I recently changed our health care coverage to Medicare.
Did they go right down the field?
We found Paul Sheldon. Paul and his associates Kelly, Bryn, and Christine were indispensable in guiding us through the transition. They have comprehensive knowledge and experience in all aspects of insurance, Medicare, and the option. They listened to our questions every time we walked in the door, and they followed up very promptly with the answers we needed. With Paul's help, we made the best decisions for us.
I haven't even watched the last Hard Knocks,
and we now have comprehensive medical coverage at a very affordable price. So if you are considering retirement and a change to Medicare coverage, Paul Sheldon Insurance Benefits and Planning is hands down the best place you can go.
Medicare matters. Our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
888-222-9888.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Believe it or not, one of my dad's favorite artists. And you want some other Bailey history? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? My first R-rated movie, summer of '74. I'm 12 years old. My favorite uncle, my favorite family member outside of my mother, my Uncle Irvin, and his later-to-be ex-wife, at that time his girlfriend, Arlena, who my mother hated. I got some great family stories. My mother, my uncle came and lived with us after he married Arlena. And my mother hated his wife. Hated. So they've been living with us for about 2 or 3 months. And something comes up missing. And of course, my mother accuses Arlena, my uncle's like honeymoon. Like they've been married like 6 months. And boy, I'm not going to tell the rest of the story, but that summer was, it was a weird summer. Having a woman in your house that the mother can't stand, and she doesn't even live there. They're just staying there until they have found an apartment. And then inevitably they found the apartment in Inglewood that I would live in some 10 or 12 years later. But my Uncle Irvin took me to see Superfly, my first R-rated movie. And I was all excited, 12 years old. And my uncle said, "Don't tell your daddy." And of course I did. Of course I told my parents. Guess what I saw this summer? What? I saw Superfly. Big Ralph, isn't that rated R? I think it is. Who took you to see a R-rated movie? Uncle Irvin? Big Ralph, I'm on it. Irvin, did you really take little Ralph to a Superfly? What's the matter with you? All right. The next time I saw Uncle Irvin, was like, "Why you do a brother like that?" I was like, "I don't know, Uncle Irvin. I tell my parents everything. I was 12. Don't you tell your parents everything when you're 12?
That's usually when you start to veer away, actually.
No, well, maybe I was late maturing, and nobody would argue with that. Who you got?
Billy Bob is on the line.
Billy Bob, you're on the Ralph Bailey Show.
Yeah, hey, happy Friday, Ralph.
Happy Friday.
Just wanted to respond with all due respect to Mr. Marcus on a few points. One, the recruitment numbers for the military in general actually increased in 2024 and have continued to do so. So the trend existed prior to the Trump administration.
Thank you. Good information.
That is across all branches. The Marines, of course, never had any recruitment problem because they're always meeting their recruitment criteria.
Damn Skippy.
But for the Navy, in particular, Army, Air Force, the temporary dip that came into play in 22-23 reversed and was trending upward and above recruitment numbers in 2024. With regard to the naming convention for naval ships, the U.S. Navy adopted a whole lot of traditions that existed from the British Navy. And one of those traditions that pretty much sacrosanct is that once a warship is commissioned, the name never changes. The only time it changes is if that warship is captured or changes ownership. For instance, with the United Coast Guard's training ship, the USCCC Eagle, was gotten in reparations from Germany after World War II and was renamed from Horst Wessel, which is the German name, to Eagle when ownership of that boat, that ship, was transferred to the Coast Guard as their primary all-ship training vessel, which I know because my child is a first-class cadet at the Coast Guard Academy.
Nice. Congratulations.
Also, my other child is a naval officer. So,
again, congratulations.
On that front, he is wrong on both of those fronts. The naming convention of not changing the name of a commissioned warship after it has been commissioned predates any naming convention that was set up through the Department of the Navy or through Congress. It's more a tradition than anything else, but it's considered extremely bad juju to change the name of an active duty warship.
And didn't John Kennedy name a ship after his late son, Patrick, the boy that died right before Kennedy died, that very few people know about? Jacqueline Kennedy had, he was actually born and died 2 days after he was born. People don't realize that. The Kennedys had two sons, and I believe his name was Patrick, and I think they named the vessel after him. And he certainly never served. He lived 48 hours.
News Talk 90. It's certainly possible. The other issue I have...
Real quick. I got about a minute.
Real quick. The other issue is with changing the name of the Department of Defense, Department of War, was the quote from Hegseth that said, essentially, we're done, or we're all about lethality. We're done with tepid legality.
Yeah, I heard that.
So just think about that quote and what that means with regard to the military following the rule of law.
Yeah, that's yep, absolutely.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, well said. Thanks for the information. That was outstanding. Appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Have a good weekend. Last half hour of the broadcast. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KRN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
So what do you believe? News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. Former Delano Police Chief Mark DeRocha has pleaded no contest to engaging in a graphic online conversation with an adult he thought was a minor. But he will do no jail time. He'll instead be required to perform 240 hours of community service, and he'll have to undergo counseling as well as register as a sex offender. DeRocha was arrested last year after chatting on the gay dating site Grindr with a sheriff's department decoy. The profile said the person was 18. He told DeRocha he was 15. DeRocha stated that he didn't believe that he was 15. Powerball jackpot is up to $1.7 billion. One lucky winner on Wednesday scored a ticket worth $984,000. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
The Cotton Patch Quilters of Kern County present an afternoon fundraising event under the Sea Auction, Saturday, October 11th, beginning at 11 a.m. at the Women's Club of Bakersfield. For over 40 years, the local guild has been supplying quilts, pillowcases, teddy bears, and dog beds to Kern County veterans, neonatal intensive care units, at-risk kids, shelters, and fire victims. There will be handmade donation quilts sold through live and silent auctions, a boutique of handmade items, raffle baskets, door prizes, and other surprise happenings. A professional auctioneer will lead the auction, and lunch will be catered by Mossman's. The Under the Sea auction is being custom crafted by members and will showcase over 40 heirloom quality quilts. Tickets for the event are $65 and available at the She Shed by the Peachy Pig, 1518 19th Street, or online at CPQ's website, cottonpatchquiltguild.org, prior to the event. No tickets will be sold at the door. Advanced sales only.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling. Boss. Work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Coming up on the Monday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, lethal authority against drug traffickers. Trump blew up one cartel speedboat, and now there's deployment of military resources to suggest there could be more of the war on drugs on the way. We'll talk about that, plus everything coming in from over the weekend on Clay and Buck.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
KERN. And I've done it again, Chris. Why don't you read the rundown and be like, Ralph, you've done it again. You put in a depressing story in the last hour of the damn show. We're going into the weekend. I suggest you rearrange it.
Because technically you didn't put it in the end of the show at the rundown. It's actually at 5 o'clock.
Well, that's the end of the show, last hour.
I know, but the 5:30 we could have left open for something fun.
True. But I never got to it. Everybody started talking. I even get to my Kennedy stuff, and that's some good stuff too. But I do want to get to the Chanel Jones story. It's just, I don't know. You know what I figured? I figured that because I cried like a baby, like violently cried throughout this whole story. Like when I'm a crybaby, but normally when I cry at stuff, I'll just sit there and tears will come out. But I mean, my head was shaking when I cried about the story. She was a senior in high school, and she wanted to be a journalist. So she wanted to go to the best journalism school in the country. And you could argue that Northwestern is the best. It's where Michael Wilbon attended. It's where Jenny Ha, who just left 17 and is moving to Sacramento. And I can't get into the details, but you're going to see a lot of Jenny Ha on Channel 17. But that's a whole nother story. But she is working in Sacramento with Eitan Wallace, not with him, but in the same city. And her husband, or who would become her husband, Uche, literally African American, posed as the college's sanctioned official because at big schools, as some of you know that went to big colleges, I never attended a large college, but they assign somebody to show you the campus if you visit as a senior in high school. And Uche pretended to be that guy to show Chanel around. They became friends. She came to the school as a freshman. They became boyfriend and girlfriend, and they lived happily ever after until about a year ago he had diagnosed with glioblastoma. And the thing that's bizarre, coincidental, ironic, call it whatever you want, of all the members of the Today Show cast, even Jenna Bush, who was the daughter of George and Laura, they featured her family quite a bit on the show. She has three beautiful kids, a 16-year-old who looks like the mini-me of his father, and a boy and a girl who are twins, who both look like the dad. The girl looks a little like mom. And, you know, kids change as they grow. She'll probably look just like the mom when she's an adult, but she still has his eyes and his big, wide African nose. And he lived a short life. And she took an 8-month hiatus from the Today Show. She sat down with Savannah Guthrie, did a full feature long interview, and then she came back today for the first time and did the show actually this morning. Here is bite one. It's the very first question that Savannah Guthrie asked her.
I think the first question is the one that seems simple, but it's the hardest in some ways, which is just, how are you doing? That might be the hardest question. You start with the hardest question. In this moment, I'm okay. Day to day, I'm okay. From a macro picture, how am I doing? My heart is shattered. My heart is shattered in a million pieces. The life that I've known since I was 19 is no more.
I can't even get through this. I really can't. This is a bad idea. Here's bite two.
I've always wanted kids, and I have 3 kids of my own now, and they've lost their dad, and I'm their mom. It sucks. So how am I doing? You know, it's day to day. I'm proud of myself for, you know, how I've coped so far. I'm proud of my kids for how we've been able to try to pull through, but it's horrible. It's just horrible. But I'm here, I'm breathing, and I'm okay. I'm okay.
She calls it her beautiful nightmare. I don't know how she looks at it like that, but she does. She's an incredible young woman. Here's bite number 3.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. But something that you've said to me a lot over these months sometimes is, it's a beautiful nightmare. It's a beautiful nightmare. And when you say that, what do you mean? You know, everybody knows by now, Uche and I were college sweethearts. And I remember when he was 17 and I was 19. And we were sitting in my dorm room at Northwestern. And we used to have this beautiful view of this clock tower. And we would stare out the window sometimes at the clock tower and just talk and dream, and sometimes just not talk and just be. Fast forward almost 30 years, I'm sitting in this beautiful, beautiful hospital room, and we were looking at this beautiful view of New York City. Here we are again, not talking. And I remember staring out of the window, and I'm like, oh my God, like, it's like this crazy full circle moment. Here we are again, not talking, and it feels like a beautiful nightmare.
I don't know how people get through this, stuff like this. 45 years old. Do you think she gets married again?
That's a tough question.
My mom was a little bit older. She was 56, but she saw a guy for a little bit. I've told that story on the show. The guy that tried to give me $50 one Christmas and called me son. I wanted to beat his ass. I'm not your son, and I don't need your $50, but I'll keep it. Here's the final bite from Chanel Jones.
It felt scary. It felt divine. It felt bigger than us. But at the end of the day, like when we shut the door and it was just us, that was always when we felt like we were at our best. And my 19-year-old self did it. And then my 47-year-old self was doing it again. And it was just like, and we would just hold hands. And the nurses would come in and they would call us the lovebirds. And we would just look at each other, say, I love you, and hold hands. But that's what I mean by beautiful nightmare, because I found beauty in the nightmare. And trust me, it is a nightmare. To watch a 45-year-old do 2 triathlons and live and breathe off of soccer and his kids, to take a guy like that and, watch him have to deal with this fight was a nightmare. But the way he fought it and the way we rallied together and the way we saw the best of humanity, that was beautiful. So it's my beautiful nightmare.
If you're just joining us, her husband suffered from glioblastoma. There is no cure. If it's caught early, you can live for about 15, 16 months. And if it's not caught early, you die in about 6 months. And it's just, I realized, because I even started crying, for those that aren't viewing on YouTube, I even started crying when Chris played the first 2 bites. But I was violently crying this morning when I watched it live. And I sat and I was confused, like, what is wrong with you? And I think I figured it out. I'm still screwed up by death because of the early death of my father. And I think the other thing was, at my age, I sat there and I realized I'm never going to know love like that. And I'm not sure I think I experienced love like that maybe twice in my lifetime. I think with Roxana, I had that kind of love. And I think with Lori, I had that kind of love. But I think that's why I was like violently crying this morning, because I just realized I really don't know that well. I was with Lori for 3 years, Roxana for about 3 years. And I think what happened. I was just kind of going over my life and realizing the longest relationship I've ever had was 4.5 years. That's it. And those 2-3 year relationships. And that's it. And I just hate death. I just despise death. What people have to go through, particularly when children are involved. I don't know. Tell him to go watch the damn game in his own studio. We got a radio show going on in here. I don't come in his studio, do I? Oh, wait a minute. That's right, I do.
He's like, excuse me?
I was setting up a joke. Relax. I don't go in his studio ever.
Right.
Hey, are you on the phone? I even interrupted his phone call. Well, say hi for me. Let's go ahead and take our final break of the night. Final break of the week. Keep it locked. Charlie Kirk at the top of the hour. On Monday, Dr. Jeet Singh will be here. We'll talk about glioblastoma with him as well. Brain cancer that took Chanel Jones' husband. Kathy Abernathy will be here. By the way, Kathy Abernathy is in an event at Bakersfield College on Monday. She is in a debate with somebody. I can't remember who it is, but I'm going to go. It's at like 11 o'clock in the morning at Bakersfield College. Why isn't my sound working? I turned my phone off last night during the event, and I haven't turned it back on. And I kept wondering all day, why isn't my phone ringing? Why isn't my choo-choo train going off when I get text messages? Turn your phone
silent throughout the entire show.
Turn your phone on, Ralph. Hey, Ralph, what are the 2 restaurants you frequent? We have a travel nurse here at my job who's looking for restaurants in Bakersfield. Well, that's quite easy, Renee. Casey's Steakhouse tonight, Luigi's tomorrow afternoon. Simple. What a combination. Tell her to start with the steak bites. If you're going with a bunch of people, start with the filet steak bites or the lobster mac and cheese. And then any entree is outstanding. But tell her that's where she should start, Renee, with either. It depends on how many people she's got. If it's just 2 people, you can share the lobster mac and cheese. That could be Chris, have you ever had the lobster mac and cheese?
I have.
Will you pay attention to the broadcast? Stop watching the damn game.
I'm just looking.
I mean, I'll come in there and watch it with you during the break, but damn, during the show, let's stay here. Have you ever had it with 2 people?
2 people, no.
Can it be an appetizer?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Start with the lobster mac and cheese as an appetizer if you've got a lot of people, or the steak bites. Because, like, the steak bites could be a meal.
Yeah.
Among 2 people, that's a good appetizer for 2 people. 2 or more, the steak bites is a good appetizer. Mac and cheese, I'm not sure. If you and I did the lobster mac and cheese, we'd still have a steak afterwards.
Probably.
Yeah, you get the lobster mac and cheese as appetizer. He's right. And then whatever steak she has, whatever else on the entree is outstanding. And then tomorrow, when she goes to Luigi's, tell her to start with the truffles. Don't ask. Just say, I'd like to start with a small plate of truffles. And then again, once you get past that, everything else is outstanding. If she's a meat eater, tell her to have the steak sandwich. There you go. Maybe if they have it, which I doubt, maybe try the salmon. But I think that's today. I don't think they serve salmon on Saturday.
No, Saturday I think is the burger on the specialty thing, isn't it?
Ooh, the Monty Burger is pretty. Ooh, the Monty Burger is my favorite. Final break of the night. It's TRBS on a Friday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at KernRadio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
On the Monday Armstrong and Getty show, after a years-long hacking attempt, this is kind of an honor. Way to go. China has a file on you. They have a file on practically every single American, and they're ready to use it.
Look, we know you got busy lives on the weekend. We'll pay attention to the news so you don't have to, and we'll bring you all the very latest on Monday on the next Armstrong and Getty show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on
I'm
News
sick and
Talk
tired of,
96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Taking down and putting up the damn trinkets. I'm sick and tired of doing this. They do look nice. I should take a picture.
Looking for flooring? It's on sale at America Ceramics. Looking for kitchen countertops? It's on sale at America Ceramics. How about shower tile? Yep, that's on sale too at America Ceramics.
I guess I just
at
take
America
the toilet
Ceramics,
paper out of the
everything
picture.
you need to transform your space is marked down for the summer. From sleek stone surfaces to bold backsplash tiles, they have it, and it's all on sale. Bring your big ideas to America Ceramics at 4000 Fruitvale Avenue, or visit americaceramics.com to get started. But don't wait. Styles and savings are going fast, and this summer sale won't last forever. America Ceramics at 4000 Fruitvale Avenue, or visit americaceramics.com to get started.
With America Ceramics, do it natural.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. And Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan. But if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
According to the Department of Energy, power outages could increase 10,000% over the next few years. American families are left in the dark for hours, days, or longer. Extended outages like that aren't just inconvenient, they're deadly. That's why My Patriot Supply, America's most trusted preparedness company, created the Grid Doctor 3300, a solar-powered backup generator. It delivers 3,300 watts of power, enough to run almost anything in your home. It's portable, whisper quiet, and safe to use indoors. And right now, when you order a Grid Doctor 3300 at mypatriotsupply.com, you'll get a free expansion battery, which doubles your power capacity absolutely free. Get peace of mind before the next outage hits your home and save over $1,200. But this is a limited time offer. So to get your solar generator and free expansion battery, go to mypatriotsupply.com today. That's mypatriotsupply.com.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning, 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KRS.
Oh, things ain't what they used to be. Oh, where did all the blue skies go? No, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No, no. Oh, it's the ocean. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Love this man. Nothing worse than wasted talent. That's a quote from Robert De Niro in The Bronx Tale, but he's absolutely right. There's nothing worse than wasted talent. And he just pissed his way in cocaine. We told you the real story about how he died about a week or so ago. The LA Times did an in-depth story. I guess it was the anniversary of his death. You probably know that he was killed by his father, but you probably didn't know that Marvin had beaten the crap out of his father. That's what prompted the shooting, that his dad had gotten into a fight with his mother, and Marvin had moved back into the house because he was struggling with a cocaine problem. And I can't remember, either from the documentary that I saw and the story that I read that made me talk about this last week, but I don't remember whether he had cocaine in his system when he died. I presume he did, but he had a horrible relationship with his father. But that's why his dad never did jail time, because the cops, when they got there, he had tremendous bruises all over his body, and they had determined that Marvin had kicked his father. It was too big a bruise to be a punch, and they surmised that he kicked him in his ribs. And I got to say, and like I've talked about a week ago, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is multicultural. There are a lot of times, and I'll admit this, that I assume that it's Black culture stuff only because it's what I saw in my upbringing. And a lot of times I'll say it's Black culture when it's actually Southern culture. But in Black culture, and Cosby coined the phrase, but I've heard it in Black families. I don't think my father ever said it to me. I think he implied it. But there's a phrase in Black culture: I brought you in this world, I can take you out. And that's exactly what Marvin's dad did. You're not going to come into my house and kick my ass without meeting the Lord. Go to the pearly gates. I hope you're going up, son. But you can't come into my house, kick me in the ribs. Good night, nurse. But see, I done it again. Now, why haven't you stopped me? Why haven't you turned off my microphone? It's 4 minutes for the weekend. I'm talking about death again. How do I do this?
I don't know.
How do I stumble into depression and maudlin stuff all at the end of the show? It's remarkable. The two things I'm consistent at: ending the show depressingly and picking the wrong damn football team, because the Chargers are about to rout the Chiefs. And I came a phone call away from losing money.
You're welcome.
Well, he didn't stop me from ruining the damn show. Couple of text messages and I'm going home, because you know what it is, Chris. Go and tell him. Tell him.
I butcher this every time.
I don't give a damn. Tell him.
Love after lockout.
And it's a good one tonight, Jack.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I can't remember what there are, but they're like two cliffhangers that were coming tonight. I think it's the one. Never mind. Y'all don't care. What do you got on the board?
Ralph, I cried when Chanel Jones said his heartbeat now beats in me.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only crybaby. But my head was bobbing. I was crying so hard this morning. And I literally had to turn my back to the camera when Chris started playing the bites. I just can't imagine that. 47 years old. And you got a 16-year-old boy. You got to finish through college, high school and through college. I think by that time, though, his father's imprint is on him enough. You know what I mean? Like 12, the father's imprint hasn't really taken hold yet. But I think by the time the kid is 16, he knows what his father was about, what his father wanted him to be about, and hopefully he'll be the leader of the family, and the twins will follow in their brother's footsteps, and the brother is following in his father's footsteps. And I'm sure every time they screw up, she says, your father wouldn't, he'll still have a presence in the home. Like, would your father want you to do this? And I think they'll live for their dad, hopefully. She's 47 and she's very attractive. I think not anytime soon, but I think she'll get remarried. I think so. I think, she's 47. I bet by the time she's 50, she remarries. I hope so, at least. She deserves to be happy. But how do you bring another man into your family with the children? You know what I mean? That's tough. But do you really want to be Ralph Bailey and grow old by yourself? She'll probably say, I've got my 3 kids. That's all I need. I don't know. Want to thank Brandon Lang for returning to the fold. He'll be back with us next Friday. Want to thank Ed McMahon, a.k.a. Rick Bentley. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Monday, Dr. Jeet Singh will be here. We'll talk about glioblastoma, the cancer that killed her husband, and Kathy Abernathy. In the meantime, for Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. Have a great weekend. We're out to you Monday.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
Whenever you're ready.
Woo! Oh, damn. I forgot to call them. I'll do it Monday. I meant to call them today. Wanted to get this straight. I didn't want to have to sleep on this the weekend. I guess I could just go to the website. Oh, excuse me. All right. What do we do? Oh, I'll do salty. I'll do salty. Three, two. It was an outstanding night at the warehouse at Luigi's where Jeff Salters, my dear friend, was honored by the Police Activities League, and they raised a ton of money for PAL, which is an amazing organization. We met children who have now become police officers because of PAL, but no one is more deserving than Jeff Salters. His commitment to his God, his community, his family is amazing. He's just overall good egg. 3, 2, it's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Monday TRBS. Well, it's a Monday. We'll talk to Dr. Jeet Singh. We'll talk about glioblastoma, the brain cancer that took the life of Chanel Jones' husband on the Today Show. Plus, Kathy Abernathy will be here, and we'll get the first critique of the first week of football. All that and me at 3, TRBS, News Talk 96.1, AM 1180, KERN. Have a great weekend. See you Monday. Is that going to fit? Okay. I am Audi 5000. And I'm going to play golf this weekend, one way or the other.
Hey, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we want our own family treatment. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
I'm sorry,
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1716. 800-822-1716. 800-822-1716.
That guy Flavius. Thank you all. Chris told me y'all got my back and wanted the guy booted. I appreciate that.
96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A semi-truck fire caused delays yesterday afternoon on Highway 58 near General Beale Road. CHP reports getting the call about the semi-truck fire just before 5 o'clock Thursday afternoon. The driver managed to get out of the truck safely, but traffic was brought to a standstill while personnel worked to clear the scene. A man accused of attacking his wife will have to face a hearing to determine whether or not he's competent to stand trial. Andre Lamont Harvey claims his wife recruited lovers to kill him because the rapper Blueface is his brother. He also told officers the Illuminati were part of a plot on his life. His wife was in bed with their 4-year-old daughter when she says Harvey attacked her after accusing her of being unfaithful. His hearing is set for next month. He potentially faces charges of felony assault and spousal abuse. A woman has been arrested in connection to a crash that happened last month, leaving a person dead and 2 others injured. 35-year-old Keona Shanice Hyde was booked into jail Wednesday on multiple charges, including gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated, driving at an unsafe speed, and failing to stop at a red light or stop sign. One victim was ejected from the vehicle and found in the road. Police declared her dead at the scene. Hyde is being held on $500,000 bail. Police have arrested a suspect in a fatal stabbing that happened in East Bakersfield. Officers responded at about 1:30 Tuesday afternoon. They were directed to the 400 block of South Brown Street, where they found a man with severe lacerations and blunt force trauma to the face. Despite life-saving attempts by first responder, he was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect, Michael Williams, has been booked into the Kern County Jail. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, may I ask a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, we have a dog.
Great. Do you have a pool outside?
Nope, just a big old backyard.
Nice. Another question. Are there any unlocked guns in the home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, let's just talk about what we can bring for dessert.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. A public